So let me bring the microphones up and say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Failed Portrayal.
Hello.
I apologize if I sound slightly strained. I am actually a little out of it today. I think my problem is that it's been cooler. It's been raining more, and it's been cooler inside the house, so I haven't been drinking as much water as when it was turbo hot, and I'm like, I need to drink a lot more water. So we have a full bottle. I warn you, there may be some bio breaks in here, but drinking water is more important than me having to step away from stream, even though I know the joke is if you go to take a piss break, everybody tabs out of your stream. But it's important. You chat should also make sure, luckily if you're on your phone, you don't need to tab out of your stream to go piss.
Yeah. Hydrate so you don't dehydrate.
Correct. But, all right, so we are doing The Hobbit. You may be confused if you're listening to the bed music because it's the Master Duel soundtrack. So, it turns out the royalty-free tavern and medieval music I played last week was not as royalty-free as advertised. So, if you watched it and you caught any of the weird sound edits we do when we clip the music, that's why. That said, Lord of the Rings is still... I mean, they say royalty-free. I don't know if you can trust, random Joe Schmoes on YouTube to actually know how copyright law works.
That's also fair.
So, and unfortunately, the way YouTube is, sometimes shit changes. It's so odd what they claimed. Slight inside baseball, but I think I did talk about this a little. For the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop RPG video, that's got complete bed music from the soundtrack, which I was able to get on Internet Archive. But for the final edit that's on YouTube right now, I had to swap some of the tracks because some of them triggered copyright, but some of them didn't. And it's mostly just either revenue sharing or, can't be monetized. So it's really weird. I think it has to do with, who has posted what and distributed what through what agency. So I don't know. I think I've actually talked about this with our Final Fantasy XIV streams. I don't ever go to the Dome and Enclave on stream anymore because exactly that music, because that is, Cyan's theme from, 5?
It just makes copyright things
It's just literally that the 14 arrangement is nothing but in Doma is nothing but Cyan's theme. So it just the YouTube detection robot goes straight to no money hell. So I just don't do it anymore rather than edit it out. It's weird. But yeah, so we're playing the Master Duel soundtrack as my default because I didn't have time to research something that's not gonna cause copyright problems. And as something I was about to bring up, the Lord of the Rings-esque soundtrack, and I assume The Hobbit by result, is one of the most turbo-litigated soundtracks ever. Yep. If you don't know, Lost's not here yet, so I have to bring it up. Rubik's Raptor, a channel that I and Lucky and most of the other people around here enjoy, he posted the finale to his Torched Vintage Story series this past week. It's an hour and a half long or hour 40 long video. But he talks about it during their finale stream. They all sung karaoke on stream. One of their members sung a song from Lord of the Rings, and that specifically, despite the fact that it was a cover, though it was with the instrumentals, that could not get past the YouTube copyright filter, so they had to cut it. So, it's just... Lord of the Rings is very persnickety, so we're not going to fuck with the system, and I will now swatch you over to the main channel. Because we're going to do The Hobbit. And I believe, as we discussed last week, this just came out.
Yeah, this has been out for about a week. Little less, little more,
literally became street legal, the day after, I think we did.
Yeah, it was the day after or the day of, I cannot remember.
Yeah. Maybe chat will know. Oh, and actually I should say before, this is the first card Dallas has provided me. We there's the we're coming back from, but I did mention last week that doing the stream made me want to pull my copies off and reread it. And I'm about a third of the way through Fellowship right now. It has been a little slow going because I've been tired, but I have been reading it. Hey, guess what, gang? I understand how some people think that the movie's different from the tone of the books because they do, and this is important. I just said I'm about a third of the way through Fellowship. Those motherfuckers have not left the Shire yet, technically.
No.
Oh.
No.
I stopped at the chapter, which is the House of Tom Bombadil.
No, if anything,
they're not technically outside yet.
The movies are... I don't want to say better paced because I actually like Tolkien's weird meandering with the
They
exception
cut off
of literally
it
one
cuts
part
out a
of
lot of the
book.
shaft and like the landscape descriptions.
There's so much time spent in the Shire because it's very, very important for tone building for what Tolkien wants to do. Because obviously he has a very famous foreword that are included in the current print version of the novels where he talks about like the long process of writing these books. You know, he technically had them written before The Hobbit, but he published The Hobbit first because he wanted to publish something, you know, shorter, and then like went back and re-edited it to be in continuity. So, you know,
well, and also,
a prequel sequel.
That's a perfect jumping off point. Because something about The Hobbit, as opposed to Lord of the Rings, is The Hobbit is quite a bit sillier than Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
I don't think this is a uncommon opinion. And in the spirit of that, the Hobbit set is actually quite a bit whimsical.
I appreciate that. We've talked about how
silly.
I do sometimes worry that, you know, the short-term gains will turn to long-term losses. Though admittedly, I did see a meme on Twitter.com earlier about, which was just like all the other like third place TCG going like, I can't wait for Magic the Gathering to collapse and my card game to rise from the ashes. So like I don't think Magic is going away anytime soon. I do worry that like they will get a little too like casual and like end up losing the audience too much in this, but I think they're slowing down their sets, so they're not at risk of that right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because the fact that they're already slowing down production and not just ramping it up gives me a little hope.
Yeah, because like I would worry that this would make too much money short term, and they would do the accelerationist thing where they're just like, it turns into where there's a year of nothing but Universes Beyond sets, and then they burn out the audience. But they do seem to be trending away from that. So
I think they're going to, if I had to guess, at least until they run out of sets that they think they can make stuff from, I think it's going to be 3 and 3 every year, basically. 3 within, 3 without, 3 beyond.
But yeah,
that would be my guess.
One thing we've always praised Universes Beyond for is that the designers at MTG who actually make the cards and design the sets do have a really good grasp so far of picking out the feel of the thing they are adapting. Adaptation being very critically important.
I think that's true with every set. Like, even the ones that a lot of people really don't like. Okay, well, I can't really speak to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at all, because I'll tell a funny story. So I went to the pre-release for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I got my box of cards, and I looked at the back of the box, and I saw this dude in metal armor, and I was like, hey, who's this guy? So that's how little I knew about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I didn't know who Shredder was.
Well, Shredder's not in the classic rhyme.
I know that they're named after the Renaissance painters. That's about all I've got.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get around to a TMNT episode, because I think out of the gang, I might be the most versed in TMNT, and that is my level of TMNT knowledge is so basic. I watched the reboot cartoon from the 2000s, which was pretty cool. I owned a cassette tape, which was an audio play adaptation of the pilot, I think, of the original cartoon run from the 90s. There was Krang in it and all that stuff. Baxter Stockman, the Mouser robots, etc. I play a mean game of Turtles in Time on the SNES. And also the kind of retro clone of that. The 4Kids one, the WB one. It was still Kids WB when it came out. I haven't seen the next CG, that reboot. Still 2D. And I played Shredder's Revenge, the retro clone video game. So my TMNT knowledge, I haven't seen any of the newer movies, any of the newer shows. I never read the original comics.
The one I know the least about.
I'm pretty sure I saw the old school live action movie once, and I've seen clips from the Turtle Time, you know, the movie 3 where they time travel because it's goofy as fuck. Because I watched, you know, Linkara's History of Power Rangers, I know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a live-action TV series and crossed over with Power Rangers once.
Yeah. Well, they
that's where the girl turtle is from.
So I've only ever watched or seen one Turtles thing, which was the DC crossover with Ninja Turtles. But DC also crossed over with anyone.
Yeah. So like,
fun fact,
my knowledge
it is
super
canonical. You want to know a cursed fact?
Yeah.
It is canonical that Lex Luthor had sex with Rogue the Bat. That is canon.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Crazy.
That is also insane. No, Axe is actually correct. That's completely nuts. I apologize.
It is, but it's really funny.
Weird lately. But yeah, I know about the old school comics, and they're like much more gritty and serious because they're from like the late 80s and early 90s. There is a classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game that I think is also from the 80s or 90s that has like a shitload of random tables for what, you know, weird mutant animal person you are. But yeah, so like that's an episode of Fail Portrayal we're probably not going to do because just like that would just be all of us sitting in a corner going like, I guess, you know, Donatello does machines. Leonardo is the leader, I guess.
I could talk a lot about some of the like mechanical stuff in it, but
yeah,
like the magic angle I could do. But
yeah,
that,
like so generally there's sets we don't know for Universes Beyond, but I'm also pretty familiar with The Hobbit. I also got my start there as a kid because it is designed to be. Axe brought this up earlier. Tolkien wrote and published it as a episodic, you know, tale that was suitable for telling children's bedtime stories. A lot of the bits and bobs.
Kids.
Yes, a lot of bits and bobs got started as the stories he told his children, and then he just stitched it all up together into a narrative.
I think it is no exaggeration to say that the 1984 Rankin Bakshi, whichever one it is.
Great portmanteau.
I'm so bad at mixing those two up specifically. Hobbit movie might be the movie that I've seen the most of any movie because I was a 4-year-old that rented it from the library ad nauseum. It's that or Castle in the Sky. Those are the two movies. Classic. Spoilers: Castle in the Sky is my favorite Ghibli movie, and I think I mean,
that's a pretty good one.
That's true.
That was my favorite until I saw
the dub.
People are snobs
because
about it, but the dubs of Ghibli are usually pretty good because they were done through Disney, so they got like real ass actors and voice actors to do most of the line reads. Castle in the Sky was my favorite for a long time until I saw Princess Mononoke, and that one's probably still my favorite, but I really do like Castle.
I think Princess Mononoke is the best Ghibli movie. Castle in the Sky is my favorite, and that will always be my delineation.
Here's a crazy one. MTG, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro. Studio Ghibli, Universes Beyond?
Fucking,
It would be beautiful as fuck.
The art would make me, oh my god, because already the Japanese alternates they do for certain sets are fucking beautiful. Like they do for, I don't know why, it actually makes no fucking sense, but I don't care. For the Harry Potter quote-unquote set that they have in Magic that's like Harry Potter but not Harry Potter Strixhaven.
Strixhaven. Yes.
They did like Japanese classic wood block paint altars of cards that look fucking phenomenal. They
probably cost more than a down payment on a car.
Only the really expensive ones. A lot of them are
there's a variety
like
of
$5 or $6.
But yeah, no. So and I will say this. I think Ghibli is a great fit because Ghibli's films are all,
Ghibli
you know, really
amazing.
They're all really built around this kind of interplay between, you know, nature, war, etc. So you could get all the colors, and you could do lands. Like every movie would have a theme that would give you like
Ghibli
lands,
would be
characters, spells, etc.
I think I would like Ghibli the most as like a 4 commander deck one. Like that would be awesome.
That would probably be the best way to do it as themed commander decks based around whatever your best 4 movies are. Castle in the Sky, Spirit Away, Mononoke. Nausicaa's not technically like Ghibli, so...
It'd probably be Spirited Away, Mononoke, Ponyo, and trying to think of the most popular ones.
I haven't seen.
What would be the fourth
last
most? Boy and the Heron is actually phenomenal. I love Boy.
Oh, okay, I'll see it. At some point, I'm gonna well, I don't know if I'm hijacking.
Have you watched it? Okay. Have you watched the Hayao Miyazaki documentary before?
Oh, have I actually? I don't think so.
You need to watch Boy and the Heron, because that is a problem. It is a very personal movie that may or may not be.
Ooh, Howls.
I don't know. It's a weird movie.
Howls is another good one.
Oh, Howls is good. Yeah, that's probably the most popular.
Varen popping in to say, I need to read. That's in my reading list too. I actually bought the book not too long ago, the original Wynne Jones. The movie is a very different adaptation, but the author is okay with that because she understands they had to, do it in like 2 hours. Varen has a great pull though. I don't know. Like we said, I don't know if they'll ever do like a Mario Universes Beyond set, but I think they could get away with a Zelda, and apparently Hasbro does have the toy rights for the Zelda movie they're doing.
Yeah, like I said, if they do any Nintendo, it would be, to me, either Zelda. It's between Zelda or Fire Emblem. Those are the only two I can.
I mean, here's the thing: Zelda, Fire Emblem is weird. Like I can see like they can do lands because there are like towns and like there are terrain type matters differently depending on the game you're in. But like Zelda would be really easy because you'd be like Hyrule Field, Lon Ranch. You could have different temples or areas. You could have Gerudo Desert be a land type.
The songs from various games could be sagas.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
And you could like have the different instruments and stuff, and you obviously have like lots and lots of characters. You could print, approximately 9 billion Link's, Zeldas, and Ganons and Ganondorfs using the same rules. Because you just give them a different epithet for a different guy. You could have if you wanted to. Not that I'm saying they need to do this, but you could do a Link for you could do every game's Link because they all have different subtitles. Link, Hero of the Wild, Hero of the Winds, Hero of Time, etc. So you can just print as many Links as you need. Anyway, let us recenter it to Hobbit. Speaking of their stuff, The Lonely Mountain, the target.
The Lonely Mountain. I wanted to start with this card because it's kind of, to me, like yes, My Precious is a card in this thing that we'll talk about, but the ring isn't really that important to the story of The Hobbit. The entire thing is about getting to the mountain, and then dealing with what's inside the mountain, and then fighting over what's inside the mountain.
And honestly, I feel like it has been a little since I've read it. I feel like the way the text goes is the closer we get to the mountain, the more compressed it is because there's a decent chunk that's about okay, we got to the mountain. How the fuck are we actually going to get in and get Smaug? Which also, by the way, again, spoilers, I guess, for The Hobbit, if you care. If you haven't read a book that's, coming up on, like, a century old. It's got to be, like, 80 years old at this point.
Yeah.
But, like, the Bilbo and the dwarves don't do shit about Smaug. If you've ever played a Dungeons & Dragons and thought you're just like the Hobbit when you kill that dragon, no. Bilbo pisses Smaug off, and he fucking leaves to go burn Lake Town, so, Bard has to shoot him, and that's it. Smaug is no longer a problem.
I can't remember. Doesn't Bilbo do something to, make the thing on his breast more obvious? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think Bard just figures it out with his keen heroic senses.
I know the dwarves were fucking useless. I know that.
Yeah. They neither possessed a magic ring to sneak in on Smaug, nor did they possess bows to shoot him with. So yeah, but that's pretty compressed. And then, there's the Arkenstone and the madness and all that stuff. And then, as we've discussed previously, Bilbo gets bonked on the head in, the first 5 minutes of the Battles of 5 Armies and misses the literal entire thing. All of that takes place off screen.
I remember, honestly, it's a pretty good visual in the book of Thorin, Thranduil, and Bard coming to the negotiating table covered in fucking bandages and bleeding. Should we stop? We should stop.
We should stop.
This is accomplishing nothing.
But so here is our Lonely Mountain. It is a mountain. It is a land. You can tap it to add 1 red. It enters tapped unless you control an equipment.
Yep.
But you can also spend 5, one of which must be red, and tap to create a 2/2 red dwarf. So it only costs 1 less for each equipment you control. Activate only as a sorcery, so it's slow speed.
Red is, I should point out, red is like, is it? It's, okay, red is either the primary or secondary equipment color, depending on how much you want to argue with me about red versus white. But so that's not hard to do.
Well, thank you, Varen. So it's almost a 90-year-old book. It will be 2037 will be 100 years.
Yeah. So this card is pretty good, I think. Obviously, you need to be in attack. Yeah, but it is true. Boros is the equipment color, which is red and white. But whatever you want to argue is the primary equipment color is debatable. It is red or white. That is not debatable. It's just who's number one. It's like the LeBron Jordan argument. Like, these are the 2 best players of all time. I'm not gonna be.
I feel like we literally had this discussion before as well.
Yeah, I do use that metaphor a bit.
I've heard other people use it. It's not unpopular.
This is a very good ability. Yeah. Because having a land that does something when you don't have mana is very good in a lot of formats. Especially in like standard. Like, I wonder if an equipment deck ever becomes viable in standard, which I'm gonna I think Final Fantasy is still in rotation, right? I think I might try and build an equipment deck.
I know for a fact they obviously, because that's how they did a lot of stuff, but they had a shitload of equipment options.
Can I say, rip Gran, you're a real one. Gran is banned in standard.
I think we forgot to mention it, but there was a standard ban list, which is very funny, because we did talk about Avatar, and they fucking...
Yeah.
They killed
Badgermole Cup was very obvious ban. Gran is a hilarious ban, but I guess not unwarranted.
If I remember right, was it...
Badgermole Cup was definitely the...
We did talk about Badgermole Cup for sure, but if I remember rightly, Gran interacts with lessons. I don't remember if we looked at her directly.
Yeah, it's just there was a very good blue-red spell lesson deck and they needed to hit something of it, and a lot of it is a bunch of like commons and uncommons, so it's really hard to like just... Yeah. So they killed Gran, which is just funny that the fucking Gran is a banned card. That's just funny to me.
Big funny.
But anyway, Lonely Mountain's a good card. If you ever have an equipment deck and have red in it, you should play it. There's literally no reason not to. It's in an equipment heavy deck. It will be 1 mana tap, make a dude eventually, which is like, yeah, technically that's 2 mana tap, make a dude, if you want to argue semantics, because you're tapping a mana source to do it. That's still 2 mana.
And I assume, actually, that's a good point to bring up. And I assume that the idea, because the way Lonely Mountain is phrased, tap to add a red mana is separate from the tap to create a dwarf. So you do have to tap this and then another red mana.
Yes, you have to tap this and another red mana. Okay. But yeah, that's that. We talked about it earlier. Let's talk about the MacGuffin of the Hobbit, which is not the ring, but is the Arkenstone.
There's a really shiny rock.
It's a very shiny rock.
Legendary artifact, Arkenstone. Love the detailing on this, by the way.
Oh, the full art one is... I wish I could... Hold on, let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, you can see if we can find it. But yes, it's an adventure.
It's an adventure, so how adventures work is you can cast it for the adventure side from your hand sometimes. So, okay, I shouldn't phrase it like that. It's always from your hand. Sometimes you can cast it from the graveyard if it is a state-based effect, because rulings are weird.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have something that said, give target instant or sorcery in your graveyard flashback, you would not be able to target an adventure, because never sorcery in your graveyard. However, if you have something that says all instants and sorceries in your graveyard have flashback, you would be able to use it on an adventure because it's a state-based effect. And it is a characteristic of the card.
But so basically, it seems like the intended use of this is you cast it from your hand as a sorcery for the less cost. It is exile,
and then you
can then cast it again from exile for the actual normal effect. So and this makes sense for the Arkenstone, because step 1 is we're going on a quest to find the Arkenstone. Then when you cast it later for the 5 as a legendary artifact, it's like, hey, we found the fucking Arkenstone.
Yeah. And then it's creatures you control get +1/+1. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. It's strong. It's nowhere near as strong as the Ring, obviously.
Yeah.
But having an Anthem and a Phyrexian Arena stapled onto each other is not bad. The fact that it's beginning of your end step makes it better than if it was beginning of your upkeep. Mm-hmm. I think if it was your beginning of your upkeep, I think this card would border on bad. But the fact that it is beginning of end step makes it good.
Also, this is crazy. Sorry, Darren also just posted another one, which is like another alt art, which is like a high fantasy classic 75 cents shit.
Yeah,
like
no,
old
we'll get
school.
We'll get to the Tolkien book arts. Yes, the book arts are. I think the Arkenstone is actually the worst book art. We'll get to my favorite later. But
it's a pretty slick concept that I like. But yeah,
it's a great concept.
Arkenstone is decent as an artifact, but the adventure text is search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So it just adds a legendary creature.
It's very good. Yeah, it's a good card. Like it's running about $20. It's good in a couple formats. I imagine it might get good in standard. I'm not sure though. But it's probably mostly a commander card. But I promise this set is silly, and I need to deliver on that. Hold on, let me type up a card, because this is not going to show up on the most sought after card list, because this is a common. But we're just going to get some of the goober cards in here, because oh Jesus. There we go.
There's a lot in the context of The Hobbit which doesn't make sense in the greater universe. Goofy singing goblins. There's trolls who talk in Cockney accents. They do a thing with some fucking barrels, which is very goofy.
Yep.
And then this. For some reason, we decided to make rabbits, which I don't even know if they were on screen. They were just mentioned at Bjorn's hut.
Yes.
This nasty little rabbit. It's a rabbit.
It's a rabbit. So this will also let me explain one of the keywords of the set, which is ferocious, which relies on you having 4 or more power. It actually plays really interesting in the set because there's a lot of equipment. There's a lot of ways to get big power. But this is a 1-mana 1/2. If you have a creature with 4 or more power, put a 1/1 counter on this.
At the beginning of combat. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, but just the fact that there's a card called Nasty Little Rabbit is just hilarious.
There's just a whittle guy in green.
Yeah.
So it's that's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Let's talk about how they did sagas in this. I think I might have mentioned it briefly in our Lord of the Rings episode. I'm going to bring up my favorite one of these because Well, we'll get to it.
Yes, I see. I remember, yes.
Hold on, sorry.
Also, I'm pretty sure that,
Nope.
takes a second, I'll look away there. I'm also pretty sure that we may have mentioned it, but the creature-type rabbit obviously did not...
no, this did not originate
not be brand new. At the very least, they had their fucking
I don't know if there are any
Watership
new creature types in this set. I don't think there are.
Honestly, I would assume not, because as we have discussed previously, in various formats, but like D&D-esque, Western fantasy is built on the backbone of Tolkien, despite the fact that Gary Gygax himself was much more of a like Conan the Barbarian guy. The sheer world-buildingology of Tolkien cannot be underestimated, so a lot of Western fantasy is built off Tolkien's back anyway. And so I would assume that Magic the Gathering...
There's no new types.
Being classically nerdy would just... Yeah, not.
Yeah.
All right. The Saga.
The Saga. So the sagas in this are all named for the songs in The Hobbit. Song, poems, limericks, whatever you want to call them.
And yes, there are a lot of those.
Oh, yeah. Tolkien was in his song bag.
I mean, it's the exact same in Lord of the Rings. Like it's funny where a normal author would probably just be like, "All right, the guys they just got to the new house, they got in the bath that they really needed. They sung a bath song." No, Tolkien is like, "And here is the text of Bilbo's favorite bath song."
Yes.
Like, cool, thanks, guys. I say that sarcastically. The bath song's not that good, but he has some bangers in there. The advantage when you shoot your shot a lot is that there are a decent number of good songs in Hobbit.
This is my favorite song in probably any of the movies, because if I remember, this is the 15 birds and 5 fir trees.
Yeah, it's Burn, Burn, Tree, and Fern. I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
And you can see a little Gandalf in there. Actually, you can see all the boys in there, but yeah, Gandalf's on the top.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Let's see. So, 4 mana.
Yeah, 4 mana. Deal 6 damage to target creature. Then, blow up an artifact. And then add 1 red mana twice. So, like, as a card, this isn't great. But, like, it's fun.
Yeah. Seems pretty...
Like, I don't know if I would ever play this. Outside of Limited. It's good in Limited, because it's removal.
Yeah.
But...
And I mean, it is in Limited. It is also at the end there. It is a couple extra mana. I don't depending on what you're dealing with, that may or may not be useful.
No, but just being able to be like, I deal 6 damage to that guy, and then also get a little bonus later.
Yeah.
And then also there's a mechanic we'll talk about later called Story that this also helps.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with, we did red, we did green, we did white. Let's do a black card. There are a lot of fun black cards in this set. Yeah, no, I have to shout out these goobers. This is probably my favorite card in the set in terms of just saying this card's name.
All right.
The Sackville Bagginses.
Oh my god! Oh, and they're so evil. God, I didn't know you could draw nasty little hobbits, but here they are.
I mean, they're so evil in the most suburban homeowner association way.
No. So the Sackville Bagginses are Bilbo's like second cousins who just want Bag End and all of his shit, and that's it. That's the only thing. Like they're still minor villains in the prologues of Lord of the Rings because like They're annoying when Bilbo gives his inheritance away because he disappears. And then they're annoying to Frodo for actually, but somebody did bring this up. It was like a decade, by the way, that, or at least 1 decade, possibly 2, that Frodo was chilling on the Shire waiting for Gandalf the long way around.
Yeah.
He's like 50 when he leaves. But like they bothered him for 20 years until finally he said, fuck it, I'll sell you Bag End as part of my cover for leaving the Shire.
And then one of them, I believe the male one in that picture, actually, because I think that is Lotho, if I'm not
Yes, I think so. I would assume it's, especially because it is still the
Hobbit. The male one went even more evil and aligned with Saruman, and I believe the other one was imprisoned by him.
Lotho, the husband, died. Lobelia lives through Lord of the Rings. So that's probably their son, who has an equally stupid-ass name.
Okay, then the son is Lotho.
Lobo?
Then.
Drogo?
No, the son
Dongo,
is Lotho.
Bongo?
What's the husband's name? Hold on.
Is he Drogo? Because Lobelia's the wife.
Well, no, Lotho lives till the end of the book, at least, because Lotho is the sheriff under Sharky. Because he's the one who, I think, imprisons Frodo when he gets back, and then Frodo was like, "You're an idiot."
Can I make a point to how the fact that they both have like literally the same evil grimace, but she's putting like I think a rope on a wall, and he is like all of the silverware in his fucking pocket.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's taking the rope off the wall.
Or she might be measuring the walls.
Yeah, she'll be measuring the walls.
I don't know.
Yes,
yeah, no, they're goofing around. Halfling citizens. When they enter play, you may sacrifice another creature artifact. If you do, draw a card and create a treasure token. Whenever you sacrifice a token, your opponent loses 1 life. They are just annoying.
Yeah. Okay, so that guy did die. You're right. That guy's not Lotho. That's Otho.
Okay,
their son
Otho is the father. Their son is Lotho. Okay,
yes.
that's
Otho
why it's very confusing because, like I said,
Otho
it's
the son of Longo.
Of Longo Sackville Baggins. Yeah, it's
Longville Baggins and Carmilla Sackville.
Ah, okay. And then they decided to hyphenate their names because that's how suburban they are. No. So he's Otho Sackville Baggins. She's Lobelia. They named their son Lotho.
Lobelia did oppose Sharky because, and this is actually the reason they were going to build large industrial sheds, and she thought that would make the Shire ugly.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Yes. This is great.
Logo also does die, but Sharky is the one who killed him. So.
Okay. He's not until the end. Yeah. Well, I guess that does answer a question I was trying to think back to myself when I was rereading Fellowship. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Frodo gets Bag End back. How's he going to swing that?
Never mind. He doesn't get killed by Saruman. He gets killed by Wormtongue, because of course he does.
Oh yeah, Wormtongue's still alive. That's right. Yeah, he's still fucking around. Anyway, the Sackville Bagginses.
Yes, the Sackville Bagginses.
Black is the color of sacrificing.
Yeah. When the Sackville Bagginses enter, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card and create a token. Whenever you sacrifice a token, target opponent loses 1 life. So this is like Temu Mirkwood Bats, but also it's good for it's really funny. It's good for like black and white decks or black decks that there's a common mechanic that like big recursion isn't that common in like standard like stuff because it's like you could really break shit with that. But there is a common type of mechanic that is like any creature mana value 3, bring that back. So that's kind of where they would fit in. Is like because you want that effect multiple times. So
yeah, enter play so you can spam drawing and tokens and then do some pinching damage.
I put them in my Carnage deck. So I don't know what the lore implications of that are, but
yeah, I don't know exactly either. Just other than they are just annoying. I mean, if you can't tell from the flavor text of, it took more than Bilbo showing up alive to convince some that he was not, in fact, presumed dead. Like, these guys see Bilbo alive, keeping in mind he comes back from the Lonely Mountain with literal, like, a couple of chests of treasure. You know, he comes with his down payment, his 1/13th share, and they're just like, nope, he's dead. Give us the deed. Give us his ship. He's dead. Doesn't count. And Bilbo's like, no, I'm alive, actually. I'm right here. Hello? And of course, because it's the Shire, he doesn't want to just beat them up with frying pans. I don't know if anyone... this is probably why Saruman is able to take them over so easily. I don't know if people in the Shire own weapons. Like...
No,
Old Farmer Maggot has like a big dog.
They do mention that some of them have at most like daggers and stuff.
Yeah, like
and
they have knives
like,
because a knife is a tool.
Yeah, it's
so you
mostly
might
like
have like a
tools.
Yeah, but like I think they mostly have like walking sticks and stuff. You know, so like Bilbo never thinks to just draw down Sting.
Sam's
and, like,
dad,
settle
I believe, if I remember correctly, someone used a scythe.
That I wouldn't be. That's the thing, right? They would do that trick where they would convert their peasant weapons.
They would do ninja stuff. They would do the ninja technique of like, you see farming equipment, I see opportunity.
Old Fredegar Bolger could probably just run them over with his big body. That's the fifth Hobbit whose nickname is Fatty.
You asked for this specifically. Which is a hilarious reference. You asked for this specifically yesterday.
That's right. I did bring up the riddles.
You did. Riddles in the dark.
Name of a chapter. Good art. And the text quote is, "What have I got in my pocket?" Which is in the description of this video, the alternative title for the stream.
And the card is, look at the top 4 cards of your library, separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile, and an opponent chooses one and put it into your hand.
So this
so
is...
You get to play a riddle.
There's also living husk Schmeagol there.
Yeah, no, he's back there, and you get to see his big old eyes.
Oh, we'll get to Schmeagol later.
There was a similar card about piles in Lord of the Rings. I don't remember what it was called, but we did talk about a similar pile card.
I believe the difference with this one than most of them is it was Gollum, the riddle maker. That's
right. Okay. So they kind of like harkened back to that theme, but this is a instant pure blue.
Yeah. And the difference with these two and the normal ones is there's actually a lot of cards that have this effect that have your opponent separate things into pile and then you choose. This is the other way, so you're gonna get to try and trick them.
Yeah, no. I mean,
did I hide something?
I don't.
Something.
I don't know if this card is good. This is the card I like about card games like Magic, and also sometimes when Yu-Gi-Oh does weird shit too.
Good.
Where
I think this card might be good.
It's 3 mana, 1 blue
3 mana
instant,
draw.
like,
3 mana draw 2 is not bad. Like 3 mana draw 2 instance is not awful.
Well, also,
like
unless it says mechanically, that could technically... I mean, I guess your opponent might never do that, but it could technically be 3, right?
Read a card.
Because it says, look at the top 4 cards, separate them into a face-up and face-down. It doesn't say separate them evenly.
No,
unless that is just how separate does. I assume that your opponent usually will choose not to give you the 3-stack, but if you find a really funny 1 card to put face up...
Flip your bomb, put it face up, and then put the other cards face down and be like, what do you do?
No, this is the kind of shit I love. There's a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are like this too, like try and guess and shit like that.
I love them.
Where it's
like, it's a slightly cheaper, slightly less card version of Fact or Fiction. But once again, it switches the Fact or Fiction is a classic Magic card, good in a lot of formats. It's reveal top 5. Opponent separates them into 2 piles. You put 1 in your hand, other than the graveyard. So this is like, and that's 4 mana and an instant. This is a little less cards, a little cheaper, and you get to be funny. And that makes to me.
Yeah.
Like, sure, mana efficiency, whatever, but you also get to troll people, and that's its own reward.
Well, and I just love the idea that, like, this is an instant, so you can play it anytime you have the mana. Yeah. You just play it. You don't have to, you don't reveal what the top 4 are. You look at the top 4. One of them is a must-have card, right, for your upcoming turn. Yeah. You just show your opponent the other 3 and put one face down and be like, all right, are you going to give me 3 cards that you know of, or are you going to give me the 1 card? And it's like, do you play that game? Because the alternative is you give your opponent 3 cards, which, yes, are all known information, but it's like, well, shit, they're going to get 3 cards.
Yeah.
You can also play that game with, like, cards that you want in the graveyard,
Speaking of it, more mechanically fun cards in blue, another one of my personal favorites. Once again, don't know how viable this is in a lot of formats, but I just kind of love it. I love cards like this. What is it? Thranduil's Decree.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I'm going to put this up screen, and then I'm going to take a bio break real quick. But I'll have my headphones on, so you can explain this card to chat while I'm gone.
I will explain. So, Thranduil's Decree. It is, obviously, it's Thranduil castigating Thorin, being like, why the f*** are you here and sneaking around in my forest? You're dicks. So you counter target spell. If a permanent spell is countered this way, exile, instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, exile it, and you may cast that card without paying its mana cost for as long as it remains exiled. So 6 mana counter spells is a lot. Like, that's not good, technically. But
I think the point is, it's like
really funny.
It's meant for being a rebound, because it's like you're meant to counter
a
very specific spell.
Holding up 6 mana is it's a lot to ask of a deck.
It is, unless you're like, you did a ramp thing and you basically have a dead turn, or you're doing the narrative that you basically had a dead turn for a while.
But yeah, this card is very fun. I don't know if it's, once again, don't know the viability of it. I'm going to put it in some deck just to try it, because it's very funny.
I feel like it's the weird thing is it costs 6 just so it can't, because I feel like if it costed 4 or 5, I think it'd be too easy to use, weirdly enough.
It's balancing for standard is why it costs 6.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with printing it in like a modern set. You could probably get away with printing it in a modern set for 5.
6 for a counterspell is pretty spicy. Like, here's the thing. You should never cast this spell to counter, like, something non-permanent. That's paying way too much.
No, using it to counter an instant or sorcery is, unless you are literally going to die, and it's your only option. Like, unless they are casting, unless the thing you are countering is Torment of Hailfire, which is a spell that is basically, if your opponent is casting this, the game is trying dead.
Yeah.
Because it's like pay X, your opponent sacrifices that many permanents or loses that much. It's a card that is meant to end the game.
Yes.
So that's the only non-permanent you would ever counter with this, is if your other option is die.
The primary means is you're waiting for a permanent to come along so that you can, 1, you get to counter it, 2, you get to exile it, which, does mean that, like, it will be outside of the normal rotation of stuff, and then 3, you can cast it for its mana cost while it's exiled, which is kind of funny.
I think these next two cards need to be put together.
All right.
You will understand.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we did talk about how this set was a little more whimsical. This is very good.
Oh, this set is very good.
We have Old Fat Spider. Not as cool and scary as Shelob. But
I don't know that stat. We'll talk about it. That stat line.
6 for 6, 7.
I mean, he's a very big. He is actually a big old fat spider. He's a very powerful spider. But talking about the thing we talk about, right? Like, this is actually like Bilbo's very funny. I should say it this way. We talked about how like some people think about Bilbo as like a thief archetype in
no,
D&D.
he's a bard.
Yeah, no, because Bilbo is like amazing at coming up with fucking rhymes and riddles like right off the top of the dome.
He is like the classic bard where it's like I think
people only consider him a thief because he literally found a ring of invisibility.
Okay, let me explain. He is like classic bard, and that like he's a multi-class of like it's like thief, fighter, wizard.
Yeah, fighter, mage, thief, the old school one, and even then like Gandalf introduces him to his 13 dwarven fighters as quote unquote the burglar. Which I still don't know what Gandalf was smoking, by the way, other than pipe weed.
A lot of it.
I was going to say copious pipe weed.
I mean, like, he's got to smoke. Listen, he's an ethereal being. He needs enough to actually get buzzed.
It's true.
So
he's got to get the real shit. But Gandalf wasn't wrong to recruit Bilbo as the perfect burglar for these 13 dwarves to break into the Lonely Mountain. But, like, how the fuck did he know?
So, Old Fat Spider
is
a 6'7", which I will point out, this stat line can kill every Smaug in this set.
Oh, really? Is Smaug only like 5'10"?
He's a 6'6". Or a 5'5", or a 4'3".
Yeah.
That's really funny.
The biggest he gets is 6'6".
There's one outside set that's going to come in the holiday boxes that's a 7'7".
All right, is there a blue-green deck that make this work?
The biggest spider?
No.
He kills quite a lot of spiders with Sting, but I don't think he gets the biggest one. So maybe that's... I was about to say, maybe that's why it has so much toughness.
Well, it is a child of Shelob, I think.
Well, yeah, no, all spiders are supposed to be childs of Shelob. It's just like it's funny that like Shelob was like spooky and eldritch.
Well, the thing is, Omega, they're all trying to Shelob. I think this one's a direct child.
Yeah, no.
I know, but like this is her biggest, oldest child who lives in the Mirkwood
Forest. Yeah.
Which also, by the way, is Thranduil's backyard. By the way, this is where the Wood Elves live. They just don't. That's how strong these spiders are. The Wood Elf King is just like, man, there's these fucking spiders in my backyard.
Well, I guess the bit is it's like they just don't leave their zone as long as we don't do anything with it. It's fine.
None
Man, that's
of the dwarves can do anything about this. Like what Bilbo does is because he's invisible and has the God Ring, taunts the spiders into chasing him through the forest. Doubles back, cuts all the dwarves loose, and they fucking run.
Yeah.
They don't fight.
At this point is where...
It's really funny. They don't actually fight
This is
a
literally
lot
where
of
Bilbo
things
finds Sting, right?
The beginning of it. No, this is not... They find Sting in the cave that they run into because the giant's throwing rocks at them.
Yeah, they run into a cave.
Because they find Sting, Orcust, and Glamdring in the same cave.
Which also, by the way, crazy loot drop, by the way.
What the fuck happened in that cave?
Those are legendary elven blades from a previous age. You know, the ones that the goblins know these swords by name, other than Sting.
Well, they don't know Sting. Yeah, they don't know Sting.
So it's that Sting was not named until Bilbo names it Sting during this event. But it was not named because it was just like same with the mithril coat. It was probably just some elven princeling or princess's like backup weapon. Like, okay, you need something to protect yourself from all these wars we're doing. Here's a compact elven magic blade. It'll glow when you know enemies are nearby. Here you go. But like it's chilling with some of the most famous and mighty blades in Lord of the Rings. Like, I think, you know, Andúril is only more famous because it's the sword that got broken over Sauron's face, or hand, technically.
Yeah.
And then got put back together.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, something that the movies did change from the books, Aragorn just is rocking with the reforged Andúril, the Flame of the West, the whole time. I think, actually, the narrative in the movies is a little tighter to be like, when he accepts the arc of being the one true, you know, the once and future king, they fix the blade, and he's like, okay, buddy.
I'll say this: they made Aragorn a much more likable and sensible character. In the book, he's kind of a goof for like the first book and a half.
It's so weird, like talking about it, right? Like, I know we're going back to talking about Lord of the Rings in the Hobbit episode, but like, it's so weird because like Tolkien spends so much time building up the ambient characters, and they are just kind of like guys. Like Sam is the loyal dumb friend. He's not book smart, but he's loyal as hell, and like and he's not afraid to go outside the lines.
He's arguably the purest person in the Fellowship, which is saying a lot. Because there's some fuck ass elves they run into still in the Shire, which is just like an insert scene in the movie. They actually talk to those guys in the book, and like the elves are like, "Hey bud, hey Frodo, you're in fucking trouble, man. We don't know exactly what's going on. We're getting the fuck out of here. But we've heard the Gandalf talking about the enemy and that he's looking for something related to the ring. You gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Do you have some guys you can trust? Yeah, interesting." And then they talk to Sam off stream, and they're just like, "Yo, Samwise Gamgee, you can't let that guy go. You got to stick with that guy." And he's like, "He's the one you can trust."
And then and so it's like, but the elves tell Sam, "Hey Sam, you got to stick with Frodo." And Sam goes, "Well, Mr. Frodo, the elves said I got to stick with you, so I guess I will literally never stop sticking with you." That was actually my character arc, Mr. Frodo, was I wanted to go see elves. And then I saw elves and they told me to do one thing. So that's my thing. Now, he does unstick from Frodo for a little bit. That's only because Frodo is experiencing ring madness.
Well, also he unsticks with him at the end. Because Frodo goes
true. But that's like after the story is over, they complete the arcs. They get to ball
Frodo
out.
Goes to PSD constantly.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, that's like the most telegraphed thing in the world, too, because like Frodo's like a weird, wistful, gentle soul. Like, Merry and Pippin caught on that he was gonna leave the Shire for about a year because that motherfucker was wandering around the Shire, sighing to himself and saying things like, "Oh, shall I ever see this valley again?" And it's like, oh my god, Frodo.
If Lord of the Rings had been written in the 60s, he would have been a Disney prince thinking about how the world is so much bigger and he needs to explore it.
I know, right? Like, anyway. But yeah, so we talked about a little bit about Fat Old Spider. He's a big-ass spider. He has reach. He has, like...
he can't be blocked by 2 or less, which is, like, you can't chump block him, essentially.
Yeah. Not like a menace, but definitely like a can't chump block him. Like, it's in the same ballpark, but it's not.
And then he has like this weird thing because they don't want to print too much hexproof because hexproof is very powerful.
Yeah.
So this is like another thing they do for like more limited and like more common cards where they have like, if you target this thing, you gain a goodness, and in this case you draw a card, which is pretty decent. Which is,
so like
it doesn't spider.
It doesn't make it so that your opponent can't remove this big ass spider. It makes it so that when your opponent chooses to do something about this big spider they need to get rid of because it has reach and can't be blocked and etc. and it's a big ass guy, you still get like it's a system that's actually like actually no, I know what it is. It's kind of the equivalent to a Yu-Gi-Oh floating effect, though some Magic cards do also have floating effects, but it's like it's not protection on your boss monster, but it means that you still get advantage, so you don't run into the problem that I know Yu-Gi-Oh has, where it's like, well, I attributed 2 guys, or I fused 2 guys for this big-ass guy, and then he ate a trap hole and died, so what do I do now? Like, it helps keep you from going horrifically minus for playing a big-ass spider. But then we have the song, Old Fighter Can't See Me, Old Spider Can't See Me.
Old Fat Spider Can't See Me.
So it's a blue
saga,
which does indeed give a creature.
Most of Bilbo's cards are blue, I would say.
Honestly, for the Hobbit, like we talked about,
Bilbos, all of the Bilbos are blue.
If Bilbo was a rogue, he would be a mastermind face type guy. Like, he is not
or he would have just like forced Gandalf to give him lessons and become an arcane trickster.
Honestly, I would also believe, like, if D&D-esque magic, Vancian magic was in Tolkien's world, and it wasn't, like, a lot more, like, subtle and mostly based on, like, crafting things.
And are you literally divine?
Yeah. like that would be the path, because like Bilbo adventurer Bilbo anyway seems like the kind of guy who would be like, you know, have a couple of weird tricks up his sleeve. But yeah, like, so he blue makes perfect sense for Bilbo in that context. So Saga 1 is target creature you control gains hexproof as long as this saga is on the battlefield. Bilbo goes invisible.
Yep.
Prevent all damage to be dealt by one target creature for as long as the saga remains on the battlefield. You tar pit.
This is him giving them the runaround.
Yeah. And then you draw some cards. You double back later. Honestly,
I don't know if he actually stabs many of the spiders. He does, like, get them killed by...
When he's first getting away, he does shank a couple of them, because that's when he calls it, this is my magical blade, Sting.
I name you Sting!
Unfortunately, Bilbo had nobody to workshop it off of, so...
I love Sting as a name.
No, Sting's alright.
It goes through a very thematic arc. I really like that it goes from a blade some dude used to kill a couple of little spiders to the blade that killed the spider. Mm-hmm. Well, the spider's daughter.
Yeah,
Isn't Golian dead? I don't know.
Honestly, I believe that's a question mark situation. I think Tolkien had some appendixes where she like wanders into the wild blue, the void beyond voids and like starves because she can't eat any more Silmarils.
Yeah.
But he never like finished that story, so it's like an appendix entry that is like, yeah, that's kind of what happened, but I never quite found the link. That's the thing I need to know about Tolkien, right? A lot of people talk up the Silmarillion. While that would be a very funny Universes Beyond type set, I don't think they'll do that. The Silmarillion's like not really canon. It's based on stuff that Tolkien was working on and refining up until he died, and then his son decided to posthumously publish it.
I think the Silmarillion will be in... I think they will do a set that is another Lord of the Rings set and incorporate things in the Silmarillion.
I could see that, because there's a few Silmarillion stories that are in the appendixes in Lord of the Rings. Like, he had a pretty extensive appendix system. Because Tolkien, like, I say, you know, the Silmarillion's not really canon. Parts of it are, like, well-documented stories that were pretty locked in, that were part of the publishment. Some of them were not, though. So, like, it's always a little, what's the phrase, like, loosey-gooseier about, like, whether or not it counts. You know, so, there are, you know, a interesting case of whether the stories are important there, but that's definitely got some of the weird shit. I mean, it's got some pretty metal things to bring up for cards. Obviously, you know, Morgoth goes through some shit, but you know, there are, you know, quite a few more Balrogs. There's some bigger, scarier like, that's the thing that it's really interesting about Tolkien, is that even in his own epic fantasy story about how, like, magic is slowly leaving the world to become, you know, the mundane world we know, he already knew like Smaug is like probably the last living big fuck ass fire dragon. Yep. Like yeah, so like Smaug is like the youngest and weakest of these fuckers. Yeah. It's crazy.
So the green Bilbo is technically, the white Bilbo is technically not in the set. It's in the
was it one of those?
Oh my god, the Christmas bundles.
One of those
that aren't out yet. Yeah,
the upcoming.
It's a green. It is a green one. It is a green, but it's also Bilbo from before they recruited him.
That's pretty good.
They're doing a display set of literally the dinner they're all having at Bilbo's house.
Oh,
and Bilbo is looking very sad.
Well, yeah, he's got 13 fucking dwarves and a wizard in his house.
He's eating a cookie and looking depressed.
All right, but here he is, Smaug the Wicked Worm, which is
this
both
is my favorite of the cover cards.
Title card. Yeah, it's a cover art, a high fantasy classic for 75 cents. But also he's got fucking Dark Souls boss subtitles, which is pretty cool.
Yes. No, this is just a Dark Souls. Like, looking at this sold me entirely on them doing a Dark Souls set. Like, just give it to me now.
We have talked about this. A Dark Souls specific or a FromSoft set would go pretty hard.
Injected in my veins. But no, Smaug Wicked Worm is a 5 mana. I know it's a little hard to read this. At least the mana cost part of it.
It's got the intentionally distressed thing.
Yeah. But he is a 5 mana, 3 colorless, 1 black, 1 red, so Rakdos. Legendary creature dragon. Believe it or not, J.R.R. Tolkien is not part of this card's text.
Yeah.
Flying, when Smaug enters, create X tapped treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts your opponents control. Whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, you draw a card and lose a life. So this card is very good and very fun.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't built so many fucking Rakdos commanders, I would probably build him. But I have too many Rakdos commanders. I have a problem.
That said, this is still both very thematic and very cool. So yeah, Smaug
so this is an interesting card effect.
He steals all your treasure.
We'll focus on the first part.
Yeah.
The first part is based off of a card that already exists called Dockside Extortionist, which is a broken as fuck card in Commander. I believe it's banned in all Commander formats now. Which is 2 mana, and create those treasure tokens, and they're not tapped. So that card's broken, but this is like a Dockside Extortionist at home. But also, and in my opinion, the more interesting one is whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent, you draw a card and lose a life.
I have to go, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh,
don't worry about it. Take your time. We've been going for an hour. Thanks for hanging.
Yep.
Have fun.
We will try.
Peace.
But yeah, basically the first effect is, not counting for flying, is a more balanced version of a card that already existed but was hella banned.
A card that is banned.
Yes,
a card that is banned in Commander, which is not easy to do. Like the Commander ban list is not a lot considering how many Magic cards exist. Like there's 20,000 cards. I think there's like 20 banned cards. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But Dockside Extortionist was a broken card, so they obviously the way they fix this effect is make them come into play tapped instead of untapped. That's the broken part about Dockside. Is immediately being able to generate that much. Well, also that it's 2 mana. It's just dumb. But I really do like this card in terms of like just Commander and maybe even Standard. I also want to. This is another card I want to try and. I want to try and build a treasure deck now because I feel like there's enough
like the one,
incidental treasure stuff.
You know, you're gonna burn yourself a little, but you get to draw a card from it. So it's like, what's the phrase? Like it incentivizes you using treasures in sequence because it adds extra card advantage there. I mean, you're slowly killing yourself doing it, but that's okay because we're having fun. Yeah. It's not hard when you have a library card, but yeah, no. And thematically that does work because like that is also the other thing is Smaug is undone because he's a dumbass who gets mad that there's a little guy stealing his dumbass little coins, and like it's like, oh, the humans helped you. I've let them live too long. I'm gonna go burn them. Oh no, my hubris.
Yeah. And then this is my favorite of the Smaug.
I love the distressed look of it. Like it is so an old beat up paper. I own a couple of classic paperbacks, mostly mysteries. I mentioned before my Lord of the Rings prints that I personally own are all from like post the movie, so they have pictures of Elijah Wood on the cover. But like I love a good old school
physical copies. I don't know if I own physical copies of Lord of the Rings books. I do have the physical copies of the cassette tapes. And I have a nice wood-burned box for that.
Nice.
That I now use to store Magic cards, because the cassette tapes are broken. They don't work no more. I wore them out.
Magnetic tape does degrade over time, and it's not that long.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Smaug. Let's talk about. We should probably demonstrate some of the other unique mechanics. I'm gonna bring up a card that does
talk about a few
stuff.
keywords they've got.
Let's talk about a legendary creature who doesn't have a name because she didn't get a name in the book. The Queen of Dale.
That's right.
Yeah, Bard's wife.
She does exist.
She exists. And she might be one of the strongest cards in the set, which is really fucking funny.
I assume the idea is that because, like, The Hobbit is supposed to be a book that Bilbo is writing, Bilbo doesn't actually, like, meet her or get introduced to her, so he doesn't fucking know.
I think he sees her when they're voting through Lake Town.
Yeah, he like, witnesses her, but I don't think they're ever, like, introduced. Because
she's if I remember correctly, and granted, it's been a while since I actually read the book. She's already the queen, and then once Bard saves everyone by being a badass, she marries him, right?
I don't remember, because I thought Bard might have kids
Bard
already. I know the movie version did do that, but I thought that was from the book.
I can't remember.
But yeah, the Queen, 2 mana, 1 white, human noble. She is a legendary creature, as we discussed.
Human noble.
Whenever your opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, you recruit. Draw a card, discard a card. If you discard it on land, create a 1/1 human soldier token.
Yeah. So that is a new mechanic to the set, recruit.
Really?
That's a pretty fun mechanic. Yes, that is.
No, that seems pretty cool. I like that idea. It's so funny they don't already. I mean, I guess that is like recruiting allies in like D&D is kind of like not as much of a thing in like the backdrop. That seems like odd that they haven't gotten quite to that yet. But that's going to be useful later on.
Oh yeah, I hope this mechanic carries on because it's really fun.
It seems fun. But yeah,
like
basically,
of the 4 new mechanics, or of the 3 new mechanics, this is definitely my favorite of them. Mostly because the other 2 are kind of too passive, and we'll get to. I already showed Ferocious. We'll get to the other one. This is definitely the most active of them.
But also, I gotta say, like, this is still decent in obviously, standard formats where it's 1v1. Again, very much more powerful in Commander, where you have 3 opponents who can cast a non-creature spell each turn, so that includes on your turn or on other people's turns.
Like, this card is still good in Standard. Like, this card
but is... no, because that's, even if it's only, like, you only have 1 opponent, that's still anytime they cast a non-creature spell, or the first time they cast a non-creature spell on their turn, you get to do a draw engine. But also, if it's your turn and they're casting instants and shit, you also still get to, like, draw a card. And obviously, the creating a 1/1 human soldier token is pretty cool, but just draw a card, discard a card, just cycle? That's great.
Especially because...
+0, still.
You know what White's really good at? Bringing shit back. It's probably...
Yeah.
It might be the better color at recursion. That's definitely another one of those, like, similar to equipment, where it's like, obviously it's an argument between white and black.
Yeah.
But I feel like white has more recursion effects. It's just blacks are usually better and cost life. Like, black is where you bring back your giant fucking Eldrazi Titan from under your couch. White is like, I now have an undead army.
Might be like, I've recruited some guys.
Yeah, from the graveyard. Another real fun one. Also great name. Great art for this in general. Just love it. Let's go back to red. And talk about a returning mechanic from Lord of the Rings. Amas. What?
It's just...
What?
Hold on. I gotta preserve the moment for chat. Okay, now through latency they will see. They will perceive. The pub is some noise maker.
You're not threatened by the bothersome noisemaker?
The Goblin Bard.
Yeah.
No, this is great, actually. And this once again goes to the thing we talked about. Notice how much more weird and fucked up these goblins are than, like, the orcs in Lord of the Rings are usually depicted. Like, we're much more whimsical and weird.
Yeah. I can't even remember what created goblins. Like, I don't remember what they are.
I mean, I think they're supposed to be one of Morgoth's creations, but that is kind of like if I'm remembering, like, the stories and stuff appropriately, I think the idea with Tolkien is that, like, goblins are like they're the creatures of the enemy.
Yeah,
they are the
be
weaker and lower, just kind of like.
I think it just might be things that Morgoth just made.
Yeah.
Because, like, the orcs are the elves, quote unquote. The Olag High are the Ents, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I think goblins are just goobers. Because they're not corrupted halflings. Because we know what those are.
That's and also halflings are super hard to corrupt. I think goblins might just be orcs that, like, have gone native in, like, caves and stuff. They're, like, much weaker and smaller kind of a thing. Which is why also, Saruman's great invention of the
Uruk-hai.
Yeah, the era is Uruk-hai, which is he crossbreeds orcs, classic, and humans, basically making half-orcs.
Yeah.
In like, D&D parlance. And, of course, in the movies, he gives them those sick-ass L-shaped swords.
Yep.
They're big-ass machetes.
Which are actually cannot... Those actually kind of are... We'll get to it. Those are kind of canonical.
Yeah, so Tolkien describes some swords. But yes, so Bothersome Noisemaker. Yeah. It's a goblin with a tuba. Noisemaker.
Yes. It is a goblin with a tuba.
By the way, chat, what's the phrase? Pick yourself. I'm the goblin on the barrel, staring down into the noisemaker, going like, is this thing on?
I am definitely the goblin playing the tuba.
I guess, chat, that means you gotta be the guy in the back putting the fingers in your ears, being like, oh my god, somebody shut this guy up.
This guy stinks. But no, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Mass Goblins 1. So put a 1/1 counter on an army you control. Yes, there are now 3 army types. There are Goblin, Orc, and Zombie.
Okay, interesting.
And there's a lot of cards that interact with Goblin and Orc armies specifically.
Oh, I bet.
In this set. We'll talk about one of them later. Maybe he's not. We'll see. We'll see where we go. But I love this card because it's good in 2 different kinds of decks. Like, obviously, it's good if you're doing anything with Goblin armies, but also, so this is like, it's very similar to a card called Young Pyromancer, which is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, make a 1/1 elemental token. And this is basically that card, but instead, if you want to make a big thing in the board. Like, if you wanted your Young Pyromancer to instead create a giant, like, 14/14 that you can then smack your opponents with.
Yeah. You can get a lot of...
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, like, again, keep in mind how this works. So, it says, amass goblins 1. So, first of all...
Yeah.
The way this works is it puts a 1/1 counter on any army you control. So if you already control a different army, you get to put a counter on it, and then it's also a goblin. Like, you add goblins to your army.
Yes.
If you don't control any armies, it's a 0/0 goblin army first.
As a token. Has a 1/1 counter.
Yeah, that you put the 1/1 counter on. But, like, if you have other armies, you can go in. And it's very interesting that this is a mono red, but it still creates a black the army token.
Yeah.
Does that mean that all army tokens so far are black?
I believe so.
And goblins. Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I believe so. Well, the original amass mechanic was about a dude trying to take over the universe. Or the multiverse.
Fair enough. With zombies?
Nicobolus is big. Well, they weren't really zombies. They were the people he killed that then came back. but like under his mind control. It was like zombie mind control.
Okay. But yeah, no, this seems very, very fun because, like, yes, like you said, this is obviously, if you are playing an army deck, this is a card that's a pretty easy way to get a lot of 1/1 counters.
But also, if you're just playing a lot of spell cards or a lot of artifacts or something,
yeah, if you're just playing
like,
a red spell slinger deck, you could also use it to create a fuck ass huge goblin army.
And guess what? Color is the best at spell slinger. And that I will argue is red, because like
red. We've talked about it, it's red. Like I think red blue is the spell slinger like
red
two color.
Blue is the spell slinger two color, but red is way better at playing a bunch of random useless spells.
Red is yes, I was gonna say red is usually the color when we were looking at things like starting back from Final Fantasy and going forward. Red is the color we were looking at things where it's just like, yeah, here's just a weird spell you can sling.
Yeah, just there is a reason. I would argue Red's most iconic card is Lightning Bolt. 1 mana, deal 3 damage.
Lightning Bolt. Yes. Also true. Yes, a classic.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah. Like, and that's very funny. I appreciate that. That like they give you the option to do normal stuff, but also this would fit into any of the weird like Black Mage type decks we looked at in Final Fantasy, where you just cast lots of little spells and your little guys, pop off, and it's like, well, what if you also had a little goblin guy in there blowing his tuba?
Oh, this is another fun one. I love the way this card is written. The Eagles are coming.
That's great. I love the run of that. The Eagles.
The Eagles are coming. I am very sad that this does not depict them as being forced to be climbed up trees, which is what actually happened.
Yeah.
But
well, actually, I'm wondering, is this meant to be? I always forget who actually the fucking 5 armies in Battle of 5 Armies is. Did we count the Eagles as one of the armies, or just they were extras?
In the books, and I will appreciate this because they are going by the books and not the movies in this term.
Which is very correct, by the way. I feel so bad for Peter Jackson because he did not fucking want to. I know he didn't want to do it. I know he didn't want to do it himself, but New Line was like,
I'll say my thing again.
Go for it.
The Hobbit movies frustrate the shit out of me because I don't think they're bad, and if you cut like 2 hours and then like redo the end of the movies, I think they could be really good.
No, the problem with
there are some parts of those movies that I fucking love.
Quote-unquote Hobbit trilogy is, if I understand it correctly, I don't want to intentionally spread information, so people know sources go there. But I believe I understand the way this worked is, for years since Lord of the Rings came out, Peter Jackson was trying to shop around to find somebody to do a single Hobbit prequel movie. There were 3 books, 3 movies. Yes. Well, 3 volumes. Technically, it's 6 books, but you know what I mean.
I had heard at one point he wanted to do 2 movies.
He may have been talking about doing 2. But yeah, he didn't intend it for it to be a trilogy. He was planning on smaller movies. He did not necessarily want to direct himself because I think he kicked his own ass, doing the first 3. The first 3 the original 3 Lord of the Rings movies are really good from a cinematography perspective. But
the filming of those movies is
those guys were all like literally on location in New Zealand for fucking years.
It broke some of the actors. Like,
yeah.
I think it didn't. Who was the one who like was a pretty well-known actor, and then that was like his last film? Was that Viggo Mortensen?
No, Viggo did some movies after. Viggo's a freak. Like, I think he just retired to retire because he ended up adopting all the horses from the films and shit. Viggo is an amazing guy, by the way. Like, he speaks a whole shitload of languages.
So weird,
if you know, most of you chat probably know this trivia, but if you know the one scene where he screams in anguish when the hobbits have been allegedly burned, it's because he was supposed to kick an Uruk-hai prop helmet. It was supposed to be one of the rubber props. It was not. It was a metal prop. He broke a toe.
To be fair, Holy shit, is that not the worst version of that story that I've heard in Hollywood? Because
no, true. There's a lot of problems that come with like prop weapons, but like his scream sounds so real because it's very real, and they did the thing that you should do in the movie, which is they used that take.
I think what was it in? I can't remember which ancient movie this is. I think it's Ben-Hur. It might be. It's a Roman movie.
There's a lot of gnarly horse shit in Ben-Hur.
This is to an actor. A very famous actor, like the lead of the movie. There's a scene where a bunch of spears get thrown around him, and they fucked it up, and those are real spears. So there was every chance if they messed up, he'd just be dead.
Yeah, old school Hollywood's pretty crazy. But yeah, so but Lord of the Rings was insane. Those guys were down there for years. They went through a lot of, trouble to make it. The whole supporting crew also went through a lot of bit because they were simultaneously making location shots and also back in studio in Weta making whatchamacallit, the miniatures and shit and designing they were working around the clock. So I understand why Peter Jackson wouldn't want to necessarily shoot those movies again, basically. So he wasn't planning on directing. He wanted to produce and add to it. But the way I understand it was basically New Line greenlit the project, but eventually they got to a point where they're like, all right, Peter Jackson, it's time to shit or get off the pot. You either have to make these movies, which we are purchasing a trilogy because we want a second Lord of the Rings because that's how franchises work. And we want you to direct it, or we're just gonna say fuck it and pull out. And so Peter Jackson, sighs and says, "Okay, I guess I have to direct 3 Hobbit movies now."
That was fucking. Sorry, I'm just reading where the actors are now, and I didn't realize that was Viggo Mortensen in the fucking Green Book. Holy shit, that man can act.
No, that's another thing. Viggo's an amazing actor, huge range, he's going out there. I don't know if anybody soft retired or anything. I don't know if Rhys Davies was in much, but he was already a pretty senior actor.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ian McKellen has kept on going stuff. A lot of them had side careers. Sean Astin is obviously still in stuff. Elijah Wood's not in a lot these days, but I think that's mostly because
I think that might have been a myth I'd heard, unfortunately.
I could see that because I think that Mary's actor was in Lost. Pretty sure Pippin's actor was in some other stuff I don't remember off the top of my head. Like I said, Elijah Wood does acting every now and then, including voice acting, but he also just he made enough money to be in Elijah Wood that he could just do whatever the fuck he wants. He was in Red vs. Blue, for crying out loud, chat. He don't care.
That was very weird.
And Orlando Bloom has indicated a normal amount of passage of time in his career, including having to come back and do the Hobbit movies, but he was also in the same decade in the good Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I said it. Yeah. And I said more than one, because there are more than one good Pirates movie. How many? That's for you to decide, chat.
Here's my controversial take. I think there are 4 good Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
That is an interesting one. Not most people would go with that, but...
I like the 5th movie. I don't know if that's just because the villain is fucking eating the
I think the 5th was considered to be in a better curve, but yeah. But no,
it's just.
But
it's
he was in.
But then again, my taste in films is.
Yeah. It is. You like objectively bad movies because they're entertaining, which is allowed. Chat. You can like things.
Not
that
always.
Are
I want that to be very clear. I don't like all bad movies. I do like bad movies, but can be very fun.
You appreciate movies that are objectively have problems, they have flaws in
Street
them.
Fighter.
Yeah, but are still entertaining. But yeah, no, Orlando Bloom did great stuff, and Orlando Bloom also I think has range as well. He is pretty good as kind of a heartthrob character, but also I'm very fond of Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah,
the director's cut,
Sean
by the way.
Astin is.
No, Sean Astin's
I
really
won't go that far because Ian McKellen. I think Sean Astin might be the best actor of the. Is that who I'm thinking of? Hold on. Let me...
Well, Sean Astin was in The Goonies, and then he went on to be a supporting character in Stranger Things, The Good Seasons.
Yeah.
I said it. They fucked up Stranger Things, Chad. You all know that. Netflix fucked it up. They took like 10 years to shoot a series that at most should have taken like 5.
Yeah, no, it is Sean Astin I'm thinking of. He's been in so many good movies.
No, he's a really good actor as well, and he's like plugged into the acting scene and also does like directing and producing and stuff. Like most of the gang from Lord of the Rings went on to have.
Whatever happened to Gimli?
Who
is Gimli?
John Rhys Davies. I said that earlier. John Rhys Davies may have ended up retiring from.
He's the best. He's the best actor in the movie. That's.
Also
right.
true. Another classically trained actor who's in a lot of high-level roles. I don't know if he had a lot of work after Lord of the Rings, but that's because he had a very full career before Lord of the Rings.
He was also 60 at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, like the cast and crew had a lot of stuff going on, but shooting the movies was annoying. So basically, this is a long story about the Lord of the Rings films to talk about the Hobbit films, which is I'm pretty sure the way that worked out was that because Jackson had to do it himself and had to make it like contractually New Line ordered a trilogy, they basically filled in all the gaps that don't exist in The Hobbit with the shit that was in Silmarillion and the appendixes of Lord of the Rings. So there was a lot of background information that was there.
It's the best part in the movie.
Well, one of the best parts is from one of those, but there are also some other bits from those that are not that impressive. Like
that's true.
There's lots of other backstory stuff. Like they did cool stuff with it, but yeah, it's a really weird one.
But
also,
anyway,
my encoder. Sorry, there we go. But yeah, Eagles.
Eagles.
Because we were trying to figure out. I believe we started this tangent by trying to figure out what the 5 armies were.
Yes. No, it's wargs, goblins, elves, dwarves,
men. Got it. Okay.
Men.
The Eagles are just a bonus. Though they do show up at the battle and they do throw some goblins off some stuff.
Yes. Although I don't know if that's true in the book. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure they talk about. It's probably just like a one-off passage where he talks about them throwing rocks at them instead.
Eagles are important because they fucking save them from being burned alive.
Yeah.
Which is where the eponymous, the Eagles are coming. The Eagles are coming is from.
Yes, which right here, the Eagles are coming.
Yes.
But also, by the way, that's a great. I would say that's a great foundation for any tabletop war game or computer strategy game. Your 5 armies are dudes, elves, dwarves, goblins, wargs, possibly eagles as a kicker, and the dragon is the big boss. Anyway, Eagles are coming. 2 mana, 1 white, with a kicker. Choose a target creature you own. If the spell was kicked, you instead get to choose any number of creatures you own. Return each of them to your hand. At the beginning of the next upkeep, you create a 4/4 white bird soldier token with flying for each creature returned to your hand this way. So basically, you mount up.
Yeah. And then, if you pay the kicker, it's everything.
Yeah, so you get to, and it is an instant. So I assume this is a, because it's creature you own, right?
Yeah.
So this is
it's creature you own, not control.
Yeah. It's a funny trick.
That is a very funny side interaction.
It's a funny trick that either works as, like, obviously you can pay the non-kicker cost for if your opponent takes control of a creature you have, which is not impossible with these various types we're talking about.
So generally you want to pay the kicker cost, because what this is mostly used for is if an opponent plays a board wipe, you go, I'd like my stuff not to die.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think as a funny, you can play it for just the non-kicker cost and just be like, hey, that card you stole, put that shit back in my hand. Also, I get a bird token. But the primary way is probably to cast it with a kicker, and that's what I was going to say was it's probably to dodge like board wipes and other mass removal. Because it very smartly creates the bird soldier tokens later.
Or the other use for it is if you are running a deck that is heavy on ETBs onto the battlefield triggers, it resets your board.
Well, it does that too, yeah. But like that's, I guess that would be when you use the instant, right? You can use it basically before your turn as like the last little thing to be like, all right, let's reset all my...
your opponent's end step, just be like, oh, by the way, I'm going to reset my board and also Eagles now.
Also, that is so funny because I'm just like, you said it differently, but in my mind you started to said, by the way, the Eagles are coming. Like, I'm just imagining that being like, your opponent goes, all right, end step, and you're like, hey, buddy, by the way, The Eagles are coming. Just like, shit, the Eagles are coming.
Let's talk about some of the generals of the 5 armies, because there are 5 generals? Yes. No, that would make sense.
Should be.
Let's talk about the one of the most dubious morality. I don't really know where to put him.
Well, I want to appreciate, obviously, I think some of these ideas are for Commander stuff, but I do appreciate that Thranduil has black in there, because
yes,
Thranduil is kind of a fucker.
Yeah, like, he is, by far, in all of Tolkien's work, the most dickhead non-antagonist in any book.
Yeah. Like there are some backstory elves who are kind of annoying dickheads.
Oh yeah.
Talk about like Glorfindel and stuff, but like actual characters who appear in the books, this is the shiftiest elf. Like, I mean, Elrond is technically half elven, so he's only part elf, but like Elrond's a great chipper guy. Galadriel is like spooky, but I think that's mostly just to keep people off her lawn, you know? Like, when you meet her, she's cool.
She's also like incredibly nice, especially to like the nice people.
Yeah. Thranduil is like, yo, dwarf, what the fuck are you doing in my house? Get out of here. What the fuck is your problem? Get out of my woods.
Yeah.
And I think the funniest thing is that he is Legolas's dad. Like, just, that's...
Yeah.
Legolas's dad is just this weirdo, annoying guy who can't even be bothered to show up to the Council of the Ring. He's like, no, I'm going to send my son. I don't want to see any of these people. You think I want to see fucking Gandalf? No.
I hate that wizard. Which, to be fair, hating Gandalf, always valid. Always valid.
No, like, Gandalf is a force for good, but it is in both The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings that he is a meddler. He is a nosy motherfucker who gets in your business.
He is just a troll.
Yeah. Like he is an annoying guy who might also try to sell some fireworks to your elves. He has a side hustle, chat. Never forget.
Gandalf is like one of my favorite characters in fiction because he both embodies the like weird like Han Solo type shifty old man, but then is also like literally an angel.
Yeah, like
he's such a weird.
And I think that's why go back to casting. Ian McKellen is a great pick for him because he can.
Oh, Ian McKellen's perfect casting.
He can be both mischievous and then also, say with deadly seriousness, "Fool of a took." Like,
and then which is why also
you need both of those extremes to be Gandalf because that is like on the one hand Gandalf is like yes Bilbo, it's great plan, cool, here's some fireworks, and then he can also be like, Bilbo, I need you to put that fucking ring down right now, okay? I need you to drop the ring, brother.
Take off the ring. Take off the ring. Take off the ring.
Bilbo, I need you to cut that shit out right now because I don't want to beat you up.
But yes, this is Thranduil, the Elven King.
With no space. That is, in fact, how you say
also,
it.
I think he is the only elf to actually call himself a king, despite the fact that he is not king of all elves.
Yeah, at least in the modern times. I don't think any of the others, because, like, do we even call Galadriel a queen?
No,
not
Lady.
Really.
Lady
yeah,
Galadriel.
Lady Galadriel. Elrond's just a guy. He's the master of, the last Flerny house.
Are you the boss? I always remember it as, like, Elrond. I'm like, is he the boss here? Is he in charge? I don't know. I can never get a read
well,
on
again,
this
like
guy.
I said, no. Elrond is known as Elrond half-elven. He's not even a full-ass elf. But Rivendell is a cool place. He owns a hotel, basically.
He's Arwen's dad, so that's why another reason he's important.
Yeah, that is also important. But no, like in the political landscape of Lord of the Rings, Elrond is like a guy who owns a cushy resort,
I guess maybe some of the elves that went over to the Var reaches might be.
But nobody in the timeline of Lord of the Rings of the third end of the Third Age is an elf who calls himself a king, except this guy. And it's just because he has this big ass chair.
Oh yeah.
It's literally in the text right there.
So,
Pillars of the Living Stone.
Thranduil.
Yeah.
The Command Reel. Thranduil has the activated ability of all elf cards in your graveyard. And then whenever another legendary elf you control enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card.
He is the Elven Kate. That's so funny. So obviously this is it's in standard, but this is a commander for an elf deck.
Yeah, this is a commander-ass card. I actually kind of want to build him as because elf decks are very boring. Elves are a very supported tribe. They're very strong.
Yeah.
But I want to see if I can build an entirely elven legendary deck. Just only elf legendaries.
Honestly, we talk about this. Elf is a very popular creature type. You probably could.
It is the, if I remember correctly, let me see if I'm right. I think it's the 3rd most common type. No, it's the 2nd. It's the 2nd most played type in Commander. I knew it wasn't the 1st, but it beats out zombies barely. I knew those were the top 3. It's spoiler. Number 1 is Dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon is number 1. It's not close. At all. Then elves, then zombies.
But yeah, so like this is a very funny guy that you can use for entirely
it's
legendary elf.
In my opinion, I like it more than a lot of elf card design, because at least it's like different than a lot. Because a lot of elves are just you make many elves, then their opponent explodes. Like that's
I would assume it's like kind of like elves are probably kind of like normally like a swarm deck with probably like some reach.
They're one of the 3 big swarm ones. Yeah, like the big swarm ones are goblins. They're also the mana producers. Like a lot of
I assume elves are mostly green.
Yep, green. Lord of the Rings added blue. Because traditionally the elf colors are green-black. There are a lot of green-black elves. Because, spoiler, elves have a history of being kind of dicks.
True to form.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and obviously those are the 3 colors that Thranduil has on his card is
and Lord of the Rings are mostly blue-green, because they're also, like, hyper-intelligent, like, mystical people in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they are magical, they are wizardly, they are crafters, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
If anything, in Lord of the Rings, they're kind of more blue than green, but...
At least some of them, yeah. Like...
Well, this is... I wasn't going to bring him up next, but this is just too perfect not to transition with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is.
Yes.
Because obviously, like I think as the king of the wood elves who do live in a spooky wood, Thranduil's gang probably counts as green.
Yeah.
Like they actually have a like symbiotic relationship with the land and stuff. But here's Elrond Moonreader. He's chilling.
He's a legendary creature, elf noble. Whenever you activate an ability of a creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. And then 5 mana or 7 mana. Exile up to 2 other target non-land permanents you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next man's turn. So this is a funny card. It's just a standard blue, weird, gimmicky card that also has some good upside. Yeah. Like, activated abilities of creatures is just very fun. So an activated ability is anything that requires you to do something, whether that be pay mana or draw or tap it. Things that just say, like when this enters or when this or when X happens, that's a triggered ability. So this is like a weird, like, I don't know if you'd ever have him as a commander, because doing mono blue trigger or activated abilities is a bit weird, but definitely as a support piece in a like blue something deck.
Well, and also the funny thing is, obviously, you can put this in the Thranduil because he is a legendary elf, and also as an elf,
also do that.
If he goes in the graveyard, then Thranduil also just has his ability.
Gets his abilities. Yeah,
that's very funny. But yeah, no, like you said, no, it is a mono blue commander. Like that's not ideal. You can. From what I understand, you can make monocolor commanders work because it is a singleton format.
Oh
anyway.
no, I think there's plenty of monocolor commanders that do work. It's just this specific ability.
You need a specific theme, which is this guy doesn't. That's the thing about Elrond. It's a very generic ability. It's just whenever you activate a creature ability, draw a card, exile some non-land permanents that return.
And his second ability is like very bad rate. Like very bad rate.
Yeah.
Like there are spells that do that ability that are like 4 mana.
Yeah.
But there's some funny stuff you can do with him. Like I don't think it's impossible to build him. I just think if I build a mono-colored commander, I want it to do something very unique, and I don't feel like he is. He more is a support piece.
Yes, he's a good card, but and that befits Elrond in The Hobbit. He's just kind of like a guy. He's not even necessarily like a big good yet either. He's just kind of a guy who's like.
I mean, I would say he's overall good. He
no, that's what I mean. But he's not like big good is the opposite of big bad, right? Like he's not a major organizer. He's just like no. Gandalf tells the dwarves, no, we got to go to Elrond and tell him about these fucking moon runes. Okay, I can't read this shit. Elrond can read this shit. Okay, he'll figure this out.
Let's talk about my favorite of the. We haven't mentioned the dwarves yet. Let's talk about my favorite of the 13 dwarves.
In general, by the way, I do want to say I love these guys. Love these bozos.
Yeah. I do as well, but I do have an easy favorite.
Keely. Thorin Oakenshield.
It is because his story is intensely tragic.
Balin, Dwalin.
Because we're gonna go with Balin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, everything went so well for him in The Hobbit. Everything went so well for him in The Hobbit. There's nothing bad that can happen in the future. He's set up for life. So this is Balin, Lore Master, which is kind of appropriate because he is like one of the 2 older dwarves, if I remember correctly. It's him and
he is described as being older.
Oh, who's the real old guy? Oh my god.
Yeah, Thorin's the leader. Who's it? There is another one who's like described as like graybeard. Is it his brother Dwalin?
Dane is. Yeah, it might be Dwalin.
Because Balin has a brother.
It's Dane.
Okay.
Yeah, Dane of Iron Hills. Has a giant white beard.
But yeah, Balin is the older one of the dwarf team, and he's probably the one who's the closest with Bilbo, I would say. I think.
Yeah, he's the one that gets along the most with Bilbo. Is him and probably Keely.
Yeah. One of the younger guys, and then the rest of them are all rough. And obviously, we talked about how like Bilbo would actually be a bard. So like Balin the Lore Master as a dwarf bard is like no shit, they get along.
Well, fun. A lot of the dwarves are actually. I think a couple of them are bards. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I joked about it being a party of 13 dwarf fighters. That's not actually true. The
like
dwarves actually have a
3
whole,
fighter. It's like three bards, a couple rangers. Like Keely and Philly are rangers because they're the scouts.
They have scouts.
But then like Dory,
and Nori.
Dory, Dane, Oin, Gloin, Thorin,
Bofa, Bomba.
Oh, I think, but is Bifur would be
Bifa,
like
Bofa, and Bomber,
maybe?
I think, are the hitters. I think they do a lot of violence.
Well, Buffer is like a paladin. He's the one who I think he dies because he takes the shot for Thorin.
I do think one of the trio does a decent number of dwarves unfortunately died. Not Balin in the Battle of 5 Armies.
Well,
that's later.
Well, unfortunately, yeah. I think like 5 of them die.
Yeah. If you don't get it, in case you forgot your Lord of the Rings, it's Balin's tomb they run into in Moria. The reason why Gimli, son of Goin, takes them there is because his cousin Balin took an expedition to reclaim the mines of Moria.
To reclaim Moria from goblins. Goblins are no problem for Balin.
Yeah.
which he's completely correct on.
Yeah, no, there's
The
other
goblins
bullshit
were
in
not
there.
a problem.
There's other bullshit in there that's problematic, like Durin's Bane. But Balin basically takes his down payment from being one of the heroes of, the Lonely Mountain, the Battle of Five Armies. He takes his share and reinvests that into the Moria expedition, which does not go great.
No. Well, it goes great, and then it doesn't.
No. I mean, I guess it works out in the end, because Gandalf fucking suplexes that Balrog to the bottom of the earth, and then they end up on top of the mountain somehow.
They fight on a mountain.
They fight on the tallest peak in the Misty Mountains.
And
Gandalf, beats his ass.
I smote him on the mountaintop.
Which, again, by the way, that is in the original... Exactly. That's in the original book. Gandalf is dragged into a pit, and then at the end, when he comes back, he's like, I threw that guy off the mountaintop. And it's like, how? Didn't you plummet to the bottom of the fucking...
To be fair, this is literally an angel and demon fighting.
You fell to the bottom of the Gulf of Khazad-dûm? And Gandalf's like, yeah, no biggie. What, you've never fell down a bottomless pit and battled a fucking literal demon for like 3 days straight?
And then Galadriel appeared to me in a dream. What?
Yeah, she's fucking psychic, man. Don't fucking at me, okay? There's a lot of shit going on you don't know about, Aragorn.
She, like, me and my brother, well, we're technically the same person, but also we're brothers. I don't know why Galadriel has this weird, like, PTSD or not, like, ESP towards us. It's why she can never go near Sauron, because she'll, like, have a huge headache or something.
His vibes are real fucked.
Yeah, he bad vibes, bad juju. But no, this
Sauron would have rancid vibes. I think that's canon. Anyway,
Sauron is, like, people always say, like, oh, Sauron was corrupted. It's like, yeah, but he was also, like, literally, like, I want to say a dick, but he's, like, very much like a YouTube pickup artist vibes, even before he was turned to evil.
He was, if I'm remembering his description in the Silmarillion, he was always a little scummy.
Yes,
he always was a little off, and the thing that's like the point of the Silmarillion and comes up a little in like the backstory of Lord of the Rings is, before he went full Dark Lord, Sauron was both Morgoth's right-hand guy and also his own independent guy. Was the charming villain. Like, he always, it was described as, like, always coming forth wrapped in a beautiful form. So he was, like, the hot twink wizard.
Yes.
So if you've ever seen people, by the way, draw fan art of him looking, like, drop-dead gorgeous, that's canon. Like, it's described as being very fair.
Canon. He basically didn't become, like, an all-encompassing monster until he was sure he could win.
Until he's like until he needed to put his battle breeches on to lead his, evil army, he was just like, nah, I'm normal.
But yes,
now, there's an interesting keyword on Balin, storied.
Yes, storied. This is this is the last of the new mechanics. Mm-hmm. So if you control 3 more artifacts, legendaries, and or sagas, you have an enduring story for the rest of the game. And then whenever Balin or another dwarf you control enters, you may discard your hand and draw X cards, where X is the number of cards you discarded this way. If you have an enduring story and Balin deals X damage to each opponent, this is a fucking hilarious ability.
Yeah, so if you have a system set up where you got artifacts, legendaries, or sagas, Balin just gets a little passive ding, a little check mark. So if you're playing a dwarf deck, either when you play Balin or when you play another dwarf, you get to cycle your whole hand, and then also beat the shit out of your opponents.
Yes. Well, you always get to do this hand cycle.
Yeah, you always get to cycle.
But
if you
have a story,
which is not that hard to set up, because it's just like says, if you have 3 or more artifacts, legendaries, or sagas, you get an enduring story for the rest of the game.
Yeah, if you're in red, I don't know how you don't manage this, because it includes himself.
Yeah. He is a legendary creature you control, so you really just need 2 sagas, 2 artifacts, or 2 other legendaries of any kind.
Yeah.
And then, boom, you're locked in. So, yeah, this seems very funny.
No, this is a very good I am also tempted to build him as a commander just because I think it's funny because you could potentially kill yourself very easy with him.
Just accidentally deck your ass out.
Yeah, well, it's a May trigger, so you can't actually do it, but you can essentially draw your entire deck.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other generals, though, because I said we were going to do that, and then I got
Well,
distracted.
then we got
by
talking about elves and dwarves, but we got some cool, we got some good vibes. I also think it's very interesting that like, I assume that's pretty common, but I do think it's also correct based on what I understand of the colors. Most of the dwarves are in the red zone.
Oh yeah, dwarves are like almost all red. There's some white ones in here. Dwarves are actually not a very common magic type for whatever reason. Just not a lot of dwarves. But they're almost always red. Let's talk about the Big Daddy-O himself. Thorin the Mountain King.
Yes, and this is specifically definitely him leading the Battle of Five Armies.
Yes.
He's the Mountain
really,
King.
really stupid
He's the king under the mountain. He's got an oaken shield. It's because he's fucking... He's got the dragon sickness. He's got the crazy.
Yeah. He's got the irrational.
So let's see.
You've got Thorin being irrational because he's sick. Thranduil being irrational because he's Thranduil. And Bard... I don't know, I guess he was having an off day.
I think Bard's problem was that his town just got fucking nuclear firebombed. So he was like, "Hey guys, our struggling society that was already nearly dead got half set on fire by this fucking dragon.
Set on fire. Please help."
Yeah. Hey, are you guys gonna pitch in after you made the dragon attack us again?
You gotta steal my Arkansas. I don't know what an Arkenstone is. I just need money so we can have houses.
Listen, do you have any farms under your fuck-ass mountain? No? Okay, better start trading, bud.
Bard is the only reasonable person in the Five Armies.
Yeah. Like he...
Well, and Bilbo, but he gets...
Yeah, he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Well, but Bilbo correctly, though, does, because he pinches the Arkenstone as, like, a bargaining chip, because he's like, hey, guys, Thorin's fucking losing his mind, and none of these dwarves are going to tell him what to do, because he's already said he's a king, so, like... he has fealty over them or whatever. I'm just a contractor, okay?
I am a contracted burglar, and I burgled my job. I did more than
he did also set himself a little because he got a little bit of the greed sickness because he originally was going to claim the Arkenstone as his 1/13th share. Yeah. And then he was like, "Wait a minute, that's fucking crazy. That's a terrible idea." But also, a battle with 5 armies would be a terrible idea. Let me fix that.
Look, there's no reason I should have an insanely powerful magical artifact. What do you mean, the ring? I just a ring. Don't worry about it.
It's just a little trinket. It's just a weird little thing. I found it in a hole. It's fine.
Some weird homeless guy had it. He was creepy.
Gandalf just, lights his pipe suspiciously in the background, narrows his eyes. I'll fix this in, 60 years.
I'm sure this is important. Let me go back to selling fireworks to children. Anyway,
Thorin. Yeah. Dwarf Noble, 4 mana.
When Thorin enters, attach any number of equipment you control to target creature you control. When one or more equipment becomes attached to that creature this way, deal damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, this is the dwarfy equipment stuff. So when he enters, you move your equipment around, and then
blast people.
And then that guy punches some people.
Yeah. You started blasting. So that is the 2. Let's go with some of the baddies first. Let's go with the least interesting of all of the generals of the 5 army. Behold, Dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Warg one, and as you posted, it's another character who's a legendary creature who doesn't have a proper name. It's just the Chief Warg.
To be fair, at least this one makes sense, because why would he have a name? He's a dog.
He is a big fuck-ass wolf, yes.
So the Chief Warg is a legendary wolf, 4 mana. Whenever you attack while you control a creature with power 5, 4 or greater, draw a card and lose a life.
Yeah, so he has his own version of Ferocious. So to draw one, lose one life. And he has Menace.
Yeah. And yeah, he's alright. He's very okay.
I assume green and black are pretty good colors for wolves.
Yeah, wolves aren't very strong.
No, I would assume not.
Wolves don't have any real good commanders. Like, the best one is probably the Chief Warg that is in the holiday box, which is... But even then, it's not great.
Yeah.
Like, wolves, unfortunately, don't have a lot of good cards.
They need to do the... Well, actually, no. That would be... I think werewolf is a separate type. I was going to make a joke. They need to do the ultimate Bury the Hatchet and do a World of Darkness crossover.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Unfortunately, that would actually be
that will never
werewolves.
Yeah,
I'm
that would
pretty
also
sure it
never
won't.
happen.
Yes, no. That is like...
Yeah, that was...
The
that
D&D WAD beef is way too deep.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a card. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to add about him. He's
No. I mean, it's a sick
fluffy
art.
white
I love the wolves in Shadow, but like it's correct that he is also the most boring character in the 5 army leaders. It's just there was an army of wargs. They work with goblins. Why did they do that? I don't know. They're evil ass wolves.
Speaking of goblins, let's talk about Bulge. Bulge of the North. The Goblin General, kind of.
Though on this card art, he looks like a goblin soldier.
Oh, yes. Well, the General isn't a card type.
True. I'm gonna
he's
run away
and
for a second while we
noble.
discuss
He's
this
not
as
a
well.
noble because the Goblin King is different.
True.
But
I will
he
be right
is
back,
the
but
leader of the Goblin Army.
I will
So,
leave
Bulg.
you up for a second. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Bulg is a 5-mana Rakdos, which is black and red. When the Bulg enters, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, Bulg deals damage equal to that creature's power to another creature. If excess damage was dealt that way, amass Goblin's X, where X is that excess damage. So Bulg is fun. Like he enters and you fling shit, which is always fun. I love sacrificing creatures and hurling them at people. But he's a bit mana pricey, and he is also I feel like this card would have been better if it was like 3 or 4 mana and like a 3/3. Because he is big for no reason. He is a 5/5 for like no reason. Like, why are you a 5/5? I get you're strong, but why do you have the same power? Oh, okay. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Whatever. This card's a good uncommon. It's very good in limited.
Does
you
he
get to
does
it's
he
a
like
removal
get a
spell.
killing blow? Actually,
You can potentially also remove your opponent's important weak creature and make more die.
Forgot to unmute in Discord. Does Bolg like mortally wound Thorin or something? Is that why he's so fucking strong?
Maybe.
Because like
I
that's the
definitely
only thing I
think
can
he
think of.
does.
Because like you're right that like because I was thinking about where it's like he's like he's got a good ability, but he's also on a 5/5, so there's like a certain minimum amount of mana he needs to cost.
Yeah, I think this card would be better for other formats if it
Yes.
was a like 3-mana 3/3 or a 4-mana 3/3 with that ability. I think that would have been really good, but that's what they chose, and I get it.
Like I mean, it's what they went for, but like because like he doesn't need to be that strong because his primary power is again that like you just want him to enter the field, huck a guy, and then amass goblins.
Yeah. I believe this is Bulg's only card. Not a lot of people don't get multiple cards because there are a lot of characters, surprisingly. Specifically, most of the dwarves. I believe the only dwarves who have multiple cars are Dane and Thorin. I think that's it. Yeah, no, that's it. Surprisingly, Bomber didn't get 2 cards.
Yeah, no. I mean, it all tracks. And I want to say, like, obviously Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of big, long, epic fantasy stuff to pick from, but, like, God, is Bolg even named until, like, before Battle of Five Armies? I don't think he is in the book.
Yeah, no, Bolg is named. Bolg is named.
He is named, but it's like, I don't think he comes up before the Battle of Five Armies. Is he the one chasing them all the way down from Goblin Town?
Yes, no, he I don't think he's named. I don't think he is named, but he is described when they when they chase them to the trees, because he is.
So like, there's a little more prestige there, but yeah, he's like, it's one of those things which is like, I could see them not doing a lot of multiples. Like, definitely you don't need to do a multiple of the chief.
Because they also did kill his dad, who is not actually in The Hobbit, I don't believe.
Yeah, but he's got beef.
Because that's from before. And then they kill the king, and he's like, alright, no, you fuckers are dying.
I've decided I'm going to chase these 13 dwarfs, 1 wizard, and 1 hobbit to the ends of the earth.
Yeah. And technically, if you want to look at it, he actually succeeds in his goal. Which is killing Thorin.
Yes.
So, technically succeeded. He's got another card coming out in the holiday box. I think all the generals do. But yeah, no, he's pretty good. I'm glad they made him a goblin instead of making him a fucking orc like they did in the Peter Jackson movies, which was weird.
I mean, to be fair, again, we talked about this. The delineation between goblins and orcs is real loosey-goosey.
I know, but just like make him a goblin.
In the book, they are described all as goblins. Yeah.
Yes. No, there are no orcs in The Hobbit.
Does that actually mean anything? Maybe.
Probably not. All right, we got one last general to go, and he is a big boy. The human boy, Bard, who is not a bard.
No, his name is just Bard, which is very funny.
Yes, Bard, King of Dale. He has reach because he has bow.
Yeah.
Vigilance. He has blue-white, which is perfect to me. Because Bard is like the nicest person in Lake Town, because everyone in Lake Town's a dick.
Yeah, he is like a genuine hero. But also he is crafty.
If you were to draw a card, except the first one you draw in each turn, except the first one you draw in your draw step. So basically just not your draw step.
Yeah. That's worded that way because
so mouthfully.
In Magic, I'm sure there are ways to get additional draw steps and others, or have a card that says, in your draw step, draw 2 cards. They're like, okay.
Yes.
If you draw a card not in your draw steps,
draw 2 cards. And then if 1 or more tokens would be created, twice that many tokens.
Okay,
just
so
he's
pretty
just standard good doubler. Sadly not very creative, but probably good.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he basically has 2 effects, which are like 1 for each color. For blue, he's got, hey, if you draw cards, draw more cards. And for white, he's got, hey, if you make a token, make more tokens. And that's it. And, like, that's good. That's decent. Yes. I'm sure you can make that work. It is, as you said, not super mega strong, but, like, it works.
Like, it's pretty strong. At least the token doubling part. The draw doubling is like... Good. The draw doubling is like whatever. Like,
because it's literally like
so many ways to
whenever
draw
a token would be created, you double those tokens.
And it's 1 or more. So. A bit high mana costy, efficient token doublers, but he's definitely the cheapest one up in terms of like real money price.
Yeah.
Because he is a little more expensive. Like, a lot of the token doublers are pretty fucking expensive. So if you need a token doubler and you want to pay cheap and you're okay with playing blue-white, pick him up, because I'll give you some perspective. A token doubler from the last couple of years is now like $50. He's like $7.
Yeah, spicy. Okay, so like that's the better effect, like you said. That's a good effect.
Oh yeah. Like, it's so easy to draw cards that, like, yeah, more draw is good, but like, card draw to me can only be so valuable. I might be obviously not perfectly describing, but that's just my opinions. Let's talk about the funniest named card. Did we already talk about this last week? I think I brought it.
I think you may have mentioned it, but sure.
Just the fact that it is called this. Tom Burton William.
Yeah, I think we mentioned them. We did not show it because we were going to do it on this week's episode. But yeah, no, it's the trolls. It's 3 trolls who are in fact named Tom, Bert, and William.
Yep, Tom, Bert, and William. Is it weird that William is the weird one to me?
No, because Tom and Bert are both short.
Why the fuck are you named William?
It should be Billy. Or Bill. Yeah. And I think they might call him Bill in the text sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes they call him by his full last name, William.
Would definitely do that. Anyway, so Tom Burton William is a Golgari, green-black, 5 mana. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature, draw cards equal to that sacrificed creature's power, then discard a card. And then when Tom, Bart, and William die, if they were a creature, return them to the battlefield. They're an artifact. So they're a stone now.
So I assume that means they keep the ability as an artifact, but then they're not a creature anymore, so you can't use them to smack.
Yeah. It's a pretty Golgari ability. Like, it's kind of like worse and better Genova from Final Fantasy. Worse in that it's not as effective, and better in that you can't kill yourself.
Yeah.
Because Genova, you can definitely kill yourself.
Yeah. But no, it gives you, speaking of draw power, it gives you draw power. It also, you're presumably playing a combination of green and black, so you will probably get other stuff if you sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I appreciate that it is a little pricey, it is, they are a 5 mana drop, but they're a 5/5, so it's about right. And then if
that
your
is
opponent
a powerful effect. That is a very powerful effect.
So it's basically if your opponent wants to get rid of that effect, they have to kill him twice, or exile you. Yeah,
or exile.
So they have to use extra resources. They have to use a spicy removal, or they have to remove it twice, basically. But also it may means that your opponent may want to just get rid of this big ass guy because you're playing this in a deck that includes, whether or not they're a commander, I don't know, but it includes some number of green cards for mana generation. So one thing I know that green does is +1/+1 counters.
I mean, they're probably a good commander. They're just so boring.
I would probably play them as a tech piece in a commander that sacrifices.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that's what I do with Genova as well. Although I think Genova is a little bit better as a commander just because she has more flavor.
Yeah.
Oh god, they made another one, right? Sorry.
But yeah, no, like these guys, like I said, I think these guys are probably they're a tech card you play in a deck they're an engine that allows you to sacrifice cards for your commander, who probably has an ability that procs when you do sacrificing. And then also, like I said, you make a big ass guy and your opponent can run over.
I'm gonna do a couple legendary artifact equipments.
Okay.
I'm not going to show Glamdring out of protest in how bad this Glamdring is compared to the other Glamdring. It's so bad.
They used all the cool Glamdring effects in the first set.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, theoretically, it could be better, but it's so. I might show it. I probably should. Anyway, let's go with the funniest and lowest rarity equipment that is legendary. Can you guess which one it is?
No, like I have some
They're
ideas,
using
but I'm not sure.
equipment loosely. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, you do equip it. No, you do. You would equip this, but what do you think it is?
Oh, I got some thoughts, but I'm not sure. Like the way you phrased that, I was like, is it his oaken shield? Because that's literally a tree stump.
No, you're on the right track. It is a.
No, wait, is it the fucking barrels?
No, that is a card. It's not an equipment. No,
Okay. I was like,
the black arrow.
It is the black arrow. Okay.
Yes.
That's
so
sick.
flash, 3 mana. When the black arrow enters, deal 1 damage to any target. If a dragon is dealt damage this way, destroy it.
Yeah.
So fuck them dragons.
Because yes, no, it's called the black arrow in the original text. Like, Tolkien does not describe what the fuck that means. He just indicates that it's a cool arrow.
Yes, that he was shot in the breast and then he died. But yes, no, this is. I just love equipment I just love effects that are so specific. Like just fuck dragons. Like, there's not a lot of that in Magic. I hope there's more.
Obviously, because they have like a really Magic has effectively unlimited. Like, there's no cap on creature types, practically. So you got to be careful with that. But dragon, I think, is a good pick because you said as you mentioned earlier, dragon is like the most popular
common creature type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
or not the most common, but it is the most
popular. Yeah, like it's
popular.
That's a decent bet, and it still has additional effect because like obviously you can just pop somebody for 1, any target, so you can just pop an opponent for 1 if you need to. Because then it's also an equipment.
It does give reach, so like it's not a bad equipment. I don't know if I'd run it just because it's so hyper specific, but it's so funny if it works.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a friend that you play with frequently and they have a really annoying dragon deck, there are a lot of those.
Yeah.
Just maybe put this in your deck to just be like, I cast my commander. Fuck you.
You bring the black arrow for the haters.
Yeah.
He's like,
this
all right,
is certified hater card.
All right, pal, I'm tired of your dragons. All right, we mentioned it earlier. I think we may even have shared this in the Discord before. It's my precious.
Yes. Not named, because it is not named in the book, which I appreciate.
It's just the precious, or Bilbo's magic ring.
What is that? It's just a ring. It's a ring that makes you invisible, and nothing more. Speaking of which, it's an adventure, but it's not Bilbo's adventure it's describing. Allure of Power. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. The ring has had many an adventure.
Yeah. Which usually ends with this kind of, like, tragedy effect. I think, obviously, the idea is, Smeagol strangling his friend to get the ring, but, like...
Oh, see, that's not what I thought. I was thinking the, Is that directly, not Anduin, but... Isildur, that gets shot and then it falls into the river.
The ring is also known in Lord of the Rings as Isildur's Bane because he took it as a trophy and then somebody fucking capped him on the road.
Yeah, that's more what I was imagining is the Isildur.
But that's like the ring is full of those stories. Like you could even argue that like, because while he's
the
not,
ring was made and then Sauron beat its maker to death with a hammer.
Yeah. And also, though, like, because, like, on the one hand, like, Gollum doesn't die, but Gollum leaves the narrative after Bilbo takes his ring, right? Like Bilbo wins the ring off of him, puts it on, disappears, and fucking sneaks out through the caves. So, like,
and
the story of the ring is the story of making mistakes, doing things you shouldn't for power.
Yeah. And then, obviously, it's equip to pay to life. And then equipped creature has hexproof and cannot be blocked.
Because you're motherfucking invisible. Not as spicy as the Ring of Power,
One
the
ring,
One Ring,
obviously.
but
it's pretty decent.
You know, for the context of when we see it in The Hobbit, that is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. And hexproof and unblockable is not nothing.
No, that's pretty spicy. It's very funny. I mean, obviously, like you're asking for your opponents to like mag dump you if you do it, but you know, put that can't be blocked on your commander. Oh, I'm hexproof.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I'm can't be blocked. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you with commander damage.
Oh, fine. Explode the board. That is when they press the nuke button.
Like I said, that's the thing where all your opponents go, oh, this guy has to die. We got to get rid of this guy.
Let's go with Sting because this card is weird.
I would imagine.
I really don't like Sting. I really don't like Sting, and they did a Sting in Lord of the Rings. I'm actually going to bring that card up too.
That's fair. We can do a little compare contrast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sting's
let's do
a
that
weird
for
one
because
like
let's do that for the next two because these next two have that.
That's fair.
Which is the Sting and Glam Ring.
Yeah. So like, and I wanted to say.
Spoiler.
Oh well, yeah. Orcus gets buried with Thorin, so.
Yeah.
Which again is very funny because that was an elf blade originally. Those are all elven-made blades. The dwarves are very good at crafts, but all the coolest swords in Lord of the Ring are actually made by elves. But anyway, no, like honestly, describing it, Sting is a weird concept as well because like it's a short sword or a dagger for an elf, which is a hobbit-sized sword for a hobbit, and it glows when danger is near. It doesn't really do anything else, so it's just like kind of a neat card. But yeah, okay, so we'll post the older, the Lord of the Rings version first.
Sting the Glinting Dagger.
Which is also kind of like theme-wise, like more poetical name. More epic. And then the Hobbit version is Sting, Bilbo's sword. Because that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay. So, let's see. The original is, they're both 2. They're both legendary equipments. The Glinting Dagger version has the creature equipped gets +1/+1 and a haste. At the beginning of each combat, untap the equipped creature. And it has first strike as long as it's blocking or being blocked by a goblin or orc. Equipped 2. Yeah. So, like, that's...
Okay.
That's all right, honestly. I mean, you get haste and you get a potential, like, first strike. That's, like, workable. It's kind of interesting that they feel like they had to give it, like, 3 different things to model what the sword is supposed to be doing, which just... It glows when there's danger.
Yeah. I love the original Sting. It's so funny. It's such a cracked card in the right deck. I mean, which of these 3 abilities do you think I'm abusing?
Is it untap every combat?
Yeah. Because you don't have to attack, untap. So any card with a strong tap ability, you can just
No, that's what I was going to say. Like we talked about this with the Black Arrow. The Goblin or Orc killing power is like cool, but much more situational. +1/+1 haste is like any fucking.
Goblin is probably might be more as relevant as Dragon. Goblins are fucking everywhere.
That's true, but like
also
it's still that's still a
weird. Won't do anything.
Yeah, it's still a weird niche effect, but like
it also should be goblins, orcs, and spiders.
Probably, but yeah, it's. I guess they were trying to keep it a little cheap, keeping it to 2 and equip 2. But +1/+1 haste is like, that's perfectly normal. Loads of equipment do that.
Yeah.
The untap all the time is the one that's like weird. So for Sting Bilbo's sword, we had to do it differently, which is it's got flash, and then when it enters, put a hone counter for each creature the target opponent controls, and then attach Sting to up to 1 creature you control. And
so what a hone counter does is grant +1/+0 for each. Okay.
Each counter gives +1/+0.
Each counter. So this is so weird that it's on Sting because this doesn't make any sense.
No. Like, honestly, if you switched these, it would make more sense because, like, in Lord of the Rings, it's like, oh, Bilbo's dagger, his sword glows. Quick, Frodo, draw it. Get ready for a fight. There's bad guys. Whereas Bilbo definitely uses it to smack a few more goblins and orcs.
Yeah.
But like
I mean,
it's weird that like
the reason I don't it's because theoretically this could be like one of the most powerful equipment ever. This could be stronger than a sword that kills angels, because if your opponent has like 10 creatures, it gives them +10/+0.
Yeah. At flash speed, at instant
doesn't
speed.
Make sense for Sting.
No, it's really weird. Like it really seems like because they gave the first Sting 3 effects, they were like, oh, we got to make a second Sting. Fuck, what do? We did all the other stuff. Because, like, obviously the idea is that Sting is supposed to be like, oh, it glows when orcs and goblins are near.
Yeah.
It glows when there's danger. So you can, it alerts you to danger.
Like,
you
if
can
this
quick
was
draw
like a Vorpal sword or something, I would get it. But it's just a sword or dagger.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a good dagger, but it's just
there is a lot
dagger.
of equipment going around, so I understand them wanting to reprint them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems a little weird. Like, technically, because rotation exists, I would just play the Glinting Dagger Sting in an equipment deck in
100%.
Hobbit anyway. Like,
well, no, that's not in standard, because Lord of the Rings was never in standard.
oh right, yeah. I mean, I guess then you could play it in the commander rotation though. Then.
Yeah. Well, there's no rotation for commander, but yeah. I don't know. Sting
now,
is
obviously, like
technically-
they have different
Sting-
subtitles, different epithets, so you could
Yeah.
play both if you were playing a thematic equip deck, but like you don't got to.
Sting to me feels like it is a better card, the new one, in terms of like being an equipment, but it also makes less sense for like.
No, I definitely understand that. Like, I don't the hone counter thing is the thing that I'm like.
Like, I'll put it this way, Omega. The highest bonus to an equipment is +10/+0, which is Excalibur.
Yeah.
So Sting could theoretically be stronger than Excalibur. Which, in the context of Assassin's Creed, I think is a god-killing weapon. Or alien, whatever the fuck those things are.
It's a piece of ancient technology. But yeah, no, like that is because like I don't know how likely it is that your target opponent is going to control 10 creatures, but it will depend on the matchup. But like that's not impossible, because we've talked a lot about swarming decks. You can have decks that generate a shitload of little token guys.
Oh yeah, no, you can.
And those are all creatures.
You can
those
get
are creature
this
tokens.
up to like 10,000 theoretically.
So yeah, this definitely feels like they used all the thematic stuff on the first one, so they were like, oh fuck it, what do we do? I guess we'll just make a good card.
Just make a cool thing. Like, it is a cool effect. It's just really weird that of all the weapons they gave this effect to, it is the one that is canonically not that good.
Yeah, they don't give it to, the foe hammer, the biter, the beater.
Yeah. But it has to do wizard stuff. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Go ahead and throw those two.
I have to pull up the old
colors up.
Glamdring. Where is Glamdring?
Also, by the way, if you've ever wondered, yes, Foehammer in Halo is named after Glamdring, because Bungie are huge nerds and have always liked fantasy. That's why Destiny is the way it is.
I think my legacy name in SWTOR is Foehammer Legacy. After that sword. Because, and I will say, the delivery of the Goblin King in the animated Hobbit movie of Glamdring, the Foehammer, no, is burned into my mind.
It's a pretty good one, yeah. Alright, okay, so. Old Glamdring. Also
It's just called Glamdring.
Yeah, no subtitle.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Which is fair, because I think they call it the Foehammer way less in Lord of the Rings.
No. Yeah, I think it's literally only called the Foehammer by the Goblin King, who then is killed by it.
Yeah. So the old school is, legendary artifact equipment. The creature gets first strike and does get +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. Wizard shit. Equipped creature deals damage to a player. You may cast an instant or sorcery from your hand for mana value less than equal to the damage.
Yeah.
but you do have to equip it separately.
Yeah, I just like. We'll get to the new ring.
Yeah.
Glamdring the Fohammer.
It's an equipment. It's also an adventure.
Yeah. Gleam of Death. Which, okay. Mill 6 cards, then put all instants and sorceries from among them into your hand. And then 2 and equip. Instants and sorcery spells cost X less to cast, where X is equipped creature's power. So this doesn't actually give any bonus damage, which is kind of why I don't like it.
No, yeah, I don't like that.
Like,
I get obviously you're supposed to. You're supposed to.
I know Gandalf is strong.
Yes.
But this is also a cool, like a fucking cool sword.
Yeah, it's called the Foe Hammer. It is, I can't remember if it's the one the goblins call Biter or Beater, but like it's one of those things.
The Beater.
Yeah.
Because
also
the
Biter
very
is, funny.
I believe, Orcust.
Yeah. But like, this is a blade called the Foe Hammer. The Beater. Yeah. A sword you apparently just kick the shit out of goblins with, and it's like,
I believe literally
it's only good.
Yeah.
Only good for.
I believe literally, other than
Anduril,
this is the coolest sword in all of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I think, one of the more well-known ones. So yeah, it's an odd case. Like, at least the Lord of the Rings, like, Glamdring is still like it gives you plus, like, it's still tied to instants and sorceries, but it gives you pluses. It's a sword that is good for your wizards.
Yeah. This one, I don't like it.
The old Glamdring, you could equip that shit on Vivi or any of your black mages in Final Fantasy, and they would be like, "This is a fucking cool ass sword."
Yeah,
whereas the Foe Hammer is like, yeah, I don't know. I guess the Gleam of Death. I kind of get what they're going for there. It's like Gandalf gets this cool sword and he fucking shows up. Like he's like, "All right, we're doing shit now." But like the actual equip effect is just like. Yeah, no, like the setup then to be that is like, okay, but that doesn't matter. Like, I don't know how the text works, but maybe the X should have been, the number of instants and sorceries you like it should have been like you get, extra power based on how many instants and sorceries you milled when you cast.
Or even just give them +1/+1 or something.
Yeah.
Make it feel like it actually does something. I don't know, man.
It's a weird one. No, I definitely agree with you. It's like
I like
get
the
what
card
they're going
design
for.
space. I like the card design in a vacuum. It just doesn't fit Glamdring.
It reminds me of Sting, right? Where and actually we haven't looked at any Bilbo, so I don't know if that specifically combos with something Bilbo does, because I know there's a couple.
No,
but
not really.
It seems like they just made Sting to be a good card. Glamdring is kind of the same, where it's just like, okay, you want Gandalf's sword to go with a Gandalf. He's a wizard. There's probably at least one Gandalf in this that interacts with instants and sorceries.
Yeah.
Here's a wizard blade that makes playing your wizard deck easier.
Yeah. Again, once again, don't hate the card.
No.
I just hate that it is Glamdring.
Yeah. Like, I think the effect that's on that, other than the fact that you couldn't come up with a cool whatchamacallit, like, you wouldn't get the cool adventure text, Gleam of Death and all that, but, like, this could just be Gandalf's staff,
Yeah. Well, spoilers, that's another card.
Yeah, but that could be this card, unless it does something similar.
True. It does something completely different. But it also doesn't give any bonus damage. But that one, at least, you'll see.
Yeah.
It's, but... Hold on. Where is Orcust? I just had it a second ago. Where the... There you go. The Goblin Cleaver. Where are you? There you are. Orcust, the Goblin Cleaver.
Ooh, thick-ass Orcust.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and you'll see why.
Okay, yes, let's see. Thrive, legendary artifact equipment. There's a lot of goblins in the backdrop. That's very cool. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. That's a little funny because there's at least one Thorin that already has trample, but I guess it would be after he canonically got this sword, so that's funny. And then whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, choose a creature type. Create a treasure token for each creature you control of that type. Okay.
Yeah, so this is potentially hilariously good.
Yeah.
It's really funny. This is definitely a win more type card, kinda. It's not like 2 win more, because it is only a 3 mana investment twice. But, like, this card is getting played a lot, because obviously, big payoff. These kinds of cards always, high risk, high reward cards often get played. A lot. And this is one of those.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you know... Well, actually, not obviously, because they've given a decent attempt at a Morton's Fork here. So, it has Trample. So, like, you need to worry about just, like, if you just chump block, just getting beat.
Yeah, and if any damage goes through, they make a bajillion treasures.
Yeah, they just pick whatever their most populous creature type is.
Yeah. No, it's a good card. It's just a little bit of a heat magnet, but it is also an artifact, which is harder to like kill than creatures are. Like some colors just can't kill artifacts.
I think we had this conversation before. Also to say, is that in the back? We're just kind of, there's not really like a big format to The Hobbit. We're just kind of rolling through. We're talking about legendary swords now. We've talked about some of the...
Yeah, we're just doing equipment. There's one last equipment. Technically, it's not legendary, even though it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a name for it, but... Yeah, it's just Wizard Staff. Which I'm surprised wasn't already a card.
Maybe it's not singular wizard. I mean, I guess it's not legendary as you said, so like in this context anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, wizard staff, equipment, 2 mana.
Yeah.
It's only 1 to equip if you equip to a wizard. That's very funny.
Yeah.
And the equipped creature has prowess. Whenever a controller casts a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 to the end of turn. And then equipped if the ability of the equipped creature triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. This is very funny.
Yeah, this is a really good card.
Yeah.
I think this card... Okay. I don't... There's another card that I'm going to show next. That this and that next card... I don't ever advocate Magic cards as investment opportunities. I will never do that. If there is a card I expect to go up in price, this is one of them.
Well, and also, you can say that as like this is a card that you suspect will be good in the future. Like, there are...
Yeah, this is a card I don't think people have quite... I think the discount to equip to non-wizards is messing with people's mind.
Yeah.
So that they think they can only equip this to non-wizards, or to wizards. No, you can equip this to anything. It's more expensive, but you can still do it.
Well, and I don't know if it's necessarily exactly true, but we talked about this when we were talking about Final Fantasy, because that also had a lot of equipment. You mentioned that a decent amount of the time, you don't even pay the equip cost because you use other cards to cheat out or cheat equip your equipment.
Yeah,
like,
you
for
can,
instance,
but even if you can't...
I mean, 3 mana is not that crazy, no. You can equip it to anybody. But, like for example, we showed... Thor and Mountain King earlier. When he enters the battlefield, he reallocates all your equipment.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways that you don't even have to pay the cost. So yeah, I think it's funny
and then there are some triggered abilities that are broken as shit. So like,
if you
double triggering some abilities are ridiculous. Because it's not a once per turn. It's if it triggers, trigger twice. Like, this card is really strong for the mana cost, and I'm surprised it is only $5.
Yeah, it's only 2 to cast. I mean, I guess it is a piece of equipment that is colored. A lot of the stuff we have legendary artifacts we've been looking at, Yeah,
but it's a monocolored card. That's like...
Mono is very easy This is the thing we talked about, right? Where, like, I think... when we were discussing it, you were mentioning, like, I think Y'shtola was already going to be appreciated because she's Y'shtola. But
Yeah.
had an opportunity to do some very freaky stuff with the way her card was written. This strikes me as similar as like, I believe the Crypto Trigger triggers. It triggers an additional time. Does seem pretty good, and you're right that it's not crazy. It's not crazy expensive. Yeah. Like you could.
Also, speaking of that, it is absolutely fucking busted on Y'shtola.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time Y'shtola's damage ability triggers, it triggers twice.
Yeah.
This is fucking stupid.
It's pretty good, yeah.
And she's a wizard. Or no, she's not a wizard. She's a warlock, but I don't fucking care.
You should, also, yes, you don't. That again doesn't matter. This card costs 2, and then its equip cost without a wizard is 3. That's not that bad. That's literally the next turn.
Yeah, for how powerful this ability is, it is not that high costed. And then the other card that I don't know why you got a card, but I'm not complaining. This is the most random character to give a card, I think.
Oh yeah, that is a little odd.
Belladonna took Pippin's mom, and then there's little Pippin in the corner. Yeah. Why is Pippin's mom a card? I don't know. Like, well, she's mentioned in the book.
I mean, yes, I believe she is explicitly named.
But, like, it's just so weird. Like,
I mean, the text is, they talk about, well, also, no, Belladonna Took that's Bilbo's mother.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because he is part Took, one of the daughters of the old Took. So, I mean, it does make more sense. It's still a little weird, but she is named explicitly because that is always like, what's the word? They always talk about how Bilbo's got that Took blood in him. That gives him weird thoughts.
Right. I keep forgetting the Tooks are like the fucking weirdos of the Hobbit community.
There one guy is known as there was the old Took who lived to be 130. He was Thane of the Shire, and he had 3 daughters who were important. Old Took was the old Took was the oldest Hobbit until Bilbo, who was magical.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But Belladonna Took is a halfling citizen.
Yes.
Whenever a token you control enters, you gain 1 life. If this is the first time it happens. If it's the second time a token you control enters, draw a card. If it's the third time, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So this is another card I think is very strong. Particularly that second ability. If you create 2 instances of tokens in a turn, you get to draw a card. There are so many fucking cards that just poop out tokens.
Yeah.
That if you have any commander or any card that like does stuff that just triggers and makes something, it's so easy to just get advantage from this.
And as we did mention, we've talked about previously, it's obviously you can generate tokens in basically any color, but white is one of the colors that's like, hello, yes, I'm going to create 5 billion soldiers.
Yeah, granted, it has to be in separate instances.
Yes, not all at once, but I think there are enough cards in white that generate soldier tokens. You can string together 3.
White is the token color. I don't think that one's up for debate.
Yeah. There are, like you said, I think there are a variety of tokens in every color. But when you're talking about token creatures and also tokens and other stuff, keep in mind this is not just creature tokens. It's any tokens.
Blues are in white. Food are in white. Like a lot of these are also in white. Treasure's probably that's not true anymore. Smothering Tithe. Lol. Anyway,
we got a few different options. Yeah.
I really like.
By the way, I want to just for the gang, I want to read out all the names of old Took's children because he had a lot.
Oh,
only 3 daughters, but it's Isengrim, Hildegard, Isumbras, Hildegrim, Isembold, Hildefrans, Isembard, Hildebrand. That's right. Belladonna, Donamira, Mirabella, and Isengar. Yes, Hildebrand is in that list. But also, yeah, Hildegard, Isengrim. Like, you notice how there's a lot of repeated syllables. They must have run out of ideas.
A lot of Norse.
Yeah. Well, his given name was not Old Took, obviously. He was Gerontius Took, which is kind of old, but different. Yeah. 12 children. Yeah. Isengrim the Third. Sorry, I forgot the subtitle.
But yeah, no, this, I really like her as a card.
Yes.
I think she will, I hope she goes up in value.
I mean, yeah, no, this is clearly a good card. It's very funny that it is Belladonna Took that goes this way, but I guess, like you said, it is, as we mentioned, tokens are everywhere. So, like, it's food, which obviously has a lot of halfling synergy. Clues can work. But also she's
recruit
white, so you
stat.
can just, you can recruit, you can make fucking whatchamacallits, soldier token, all that shit.
Probably should. I have an idea for what we should do for the last two.
Okay.
Do you want to do some more, or do you want to finish it up?
We're still only at 2 and 3/4. We got a little bit more time.
Let's do a couple.
We can do a couple.
Yeah, let's do. Oh, right. I forgot some important people. Right. And some questionably important people. Let's talk about the weirdest character from the book, by far. Bjorn.
Yeah. That's another one that's just kind of like, yeah.
You're here.
Tolkien just
so,
did something.
Bjorn the Fierce. So Bjorn the Fierce is a bear shapeshifter warrior.
No, careful, Dallas. You got something
sorry.
Crackling in the back there.
Bjorn the Fierce is a bear shapeshifter warrior. Other bears you control get +2/+2.
Okay.
At the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a trample counter on up to one target creature. It becomes a bear. Then, if you control 3 or more bears, draw 2 cards. I believe
also,
I need to...
He's so fierce. He's a 6/6. He's as fierce as Smaug is.
I'm going to post 4 cards to go with him, if that's okay.
Yeah.
These cards do not need to be discussed in any depth. I believe one of them is literally just a vanilla.
Bear. Ordinary bear. Yes. Which is in this set. Okay. All right. Okay. I get it. Thank you for starting with ordinary bear. Okay. All right. So I'll preface this chat. Dallas started by listing ordinary bear, which has a quote from Gandalf, which says, "I should say there were little bears, large bears, ordinary bears, and gigantic big bears, all dancing outside from dark to nearly dawn." So, yeah, they've made those all into cards. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's a big bear.
It is. Jesus. All right. Okay. So
these are the 4 new bears.
Yeah. Bears already existed, and they added a lot more bears. Can I throw these on screen easily?
It's really funny that none of these bears are bears. And what I mean by that is there is a joke in Magic that an entire card type is called Bear, which is 2 mana 2/2s, because a Grizzly Bear, a couple other bear cards are all just 2 mana 2/2s in the original set. So Magic has used, that's where there's also another subtype card called Hate Bears comes from, which is usually a 2 mana 2/2 with a fuck you don't do something effect stapled to it.
Yeah. But not, as stated, none of these are archetypally
none of these
the bear.
bears. None of the, well, they're all bears, but none of them are traditional bear stat lines.
Yeah.
Which is good, because traditional bear stat lines are bad in today's Magic. I mean,
But yeah, here, I'm building a bear collage. Do not be shocked when I post the gigantic big bear. Thank you, Gandalf.
Yes. He was not lying. It is a gigantic big bear.
Yeah. No, he's a fucking huge-ass bears. So there is room for a bear tribal.
Oh, yeah, there was already bear tribal.
Yeah, but it's like they decided to add some more bears to this. The ordinary bear is indeed a vanilla. It's
oh my god!
ordinary.
I just realized something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the text of ordinary bear.
Little, large, ordinary, gigantic bears dancing outside dark until nearly dawn. And then I see you have. There's another. The bear support enchantment.
Yeah.
That I don't think I can fit into the collage right now.
No, that's fine. You don't need to. That's just for you.
But there's also a bear support spells.
Dancing from dark till dawn.
Yeah. So very funny. Yes, there is a little bear which is just flash, and then you untap a creature and it can be a bear. The large bear is just not quite a vanilla, but it's just a big ass bear.
Honestly, large bear is kind of large bear is kind of great. I've been playing limited a bit. Large bear's kind of. It's weird. Gigantic big bear is a little too expensive to be like a great limited card.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a bomb, but like it also doesn't have trample, which is a problem. Large bear just kind of fucks.
No, large bear is pretty cool because that's first of all, it's green or
I also
black.
like little. Like if I had to rate bears, I'd probably go. Probably little bear, large bear, huge bear, gigantic big bear, ordinary bear. Probably, just because little bear has applications outside of just being a bear.
I mean, yeah, no, like it has bear synergy, but yes, it is just flash on tap a creature.
You could do some infuriating stuff with that.
If it's a bear, you get a +1, but like no, it's also just like a flash untap. Also, it is a body.
Yeah,
but
and it's adorable.
No, that's also true. Yes, they're little bears. They're very fun. But large bear does also seem pretty strong, like I said, because it's green or black for a 5/5 that's reach, trample, haste. Just like. No, it's a big. That's
a card that gets
bear.
significantly worse in Commander, and because it needs to be green and black because of how mana rules work. Mm-hmm. And significantly better in Standard and Limited.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Bjorn is such a weird part of the book.
Yes. Again, like people. Because I think Tolkien took his lore very seriously, but also I don't think he took The Hobbit very seriously, which is why parts of The Hobbit are weird. There's just a guy who can turn into a bear. Why? Because I think Tolkien really liked Beowulf, and if you don't know, Beowulf's name is a pun that means Beowulf, which is a kenning for bear. He's not a literal...
Well, no. He is a giant man.
Yes.
He's not a giant. He is a giant man. Because the giants in Tolkien's universe are really giant.
Yeah. Bjorn is ostensibly a man, though he is indeed very big, compared to dwarves.
He's the size of like
hobbits.
a house, I think.
But also, he can turn into a bear. Why can he turn into a bear? Again, I think it's literally just because Tolkien thought the pun of Beowulf, which again, it's a kenning, it's a Norse pun, or Nordic pun, I should say, because it means. Beowulf means Beowulf, which is just a way to say bear. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, Bjorn. His name means bear. He turns into a bear. He's a bear. So yeah, that's very funny. He is a trample 6/6. That can be pretty funny. But yeah, no.
Bjorn is a fucking house.
What I will say is it's funny because of the scale of Magic. I do kind of feel like the power levels in this set are all over the place.
Oh, yeah,
like,
definitely.
We talked about that a little with Lord of the Rings, but like Bjorn is like a 6/6. That means this bear could punch out Smaug.
Yeah.
He'd also die, but
yeah,
like hypothetically, if you gave him reach. If you
But then
equip Bjorn the Fierce with the black arrow.
The big bear kills the Smaug.
Yeah, no, the gigantic big bear is really fucking big. This bear could take on whole armies of goblins. So no,
never try and power scale magic. It doesn't work.
Yeah. It's very funny. Like, I will say, even internally, it's a little silly, but yes, it is just kind of like, we're just doing shit, okay? Yeah. And that's okay.
Like that, like, people will be like, "Oh, Universes Beyond." Is like, no, Magic is a setting in which characters cut off their friend's head, channeled magic through it, and shot a laser cannon to kill a demon god. There is no power scaling.
Well, and also I want to say I've seen some. We've talked about them before, but also I've seen them in the wild. Various Magic cards of various provenance. The levels of power and toughness are also all over the place in general.
Oh, yeah, those never mattered. Why is this cat? Why is this cat a 2/2 as opposed to a human soldier? This normal house cat. I don't fucking know.
Well, Dallas, haven't you ever played like second or third ed D&D? Commoner dies to a house cat.
Yeah, true. Let's bring up a Gandalf. I'm gonna bring up the holiday box Gandalf because I don't think the main set Gandalfs are that interesting.
We did mention that there are a fuck ton of Gandalfs between this and Lord of the Rings, so I would assume they're gonna run
a lot of the
fucking
Gandalfs
ideas.
in Lord of the Rings are more interesting. But I will say the holiday box Gandalf is pretty neat. So let me bring him. Which is technically not out yet, but you can actually get him, I believe, in collector's packs. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Also, actually, I should say another funny thing you missed, Zed, is I started by just playing the Master Duel music because my royalty-free tavern music wasn't as royalty-free as I thought. There were a couple of songs that still got dinged. But I didn't say this out loud, but I typed it in text chat earlier. About an hour ago, we talked about Dark Souls again, so I just switched to a Dark Souls mix. Yeah. Just atmospheric Dark Souls music in the background, which is like, okay, yeah. No, actually, that's another thing that people always don't think of, but like, Lord of the Rings is like, imagine if Dark Souls was kind of Hope Core, like, you are part of a fading age where like everything is getting less powerful, less interesting, less magical, but like that's okay. That's normal, guys. You shouldn't struggle to hold on to the previous age. It's cool.
Dark Souls is, I've literally described this to my friends before. Dark Souls is what happened if instead of the elves being okay with riding off into the sunset, they went, nah, we're not leaving.
Yeah.
And that's basically the plot of Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, you gotta hold on to the power.
Yeah. Gandalf's party guest. Which is Gandalf getting fucking sauced.
Yes. This is I presume, then I don't presume, I can guess. This is from the holiday set you mentioned where the collage is, it's them at the party. At Bilbo's party. Yeah, big-ass Gandalf. Red, white, blue. He's an avatar wizard, the pre-established. Let's see. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana X from your hand without paying the mana cost, where X is twice the number of legendary wizards you control. So...
Gandalf Tribal!
Yeah, I'm about to say yes. So wait, I get obviously you can have it for... That means, you get to cast 2 for free if you control 1 Gandalf party guest. But if you control a shitload of legendary wizards, so if you build a deck that's all the Gandalfs together, because they all have different subtitles...
Yes.
It leads me back to that joke we made, which is just... Imagine the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny, but you cut out all the names, just say Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White. And Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White.
I believe there is one Gandalf that would not be able to be put in the deck, which is the green-blue one.
Yes, because I think we did talk about that. They've managed to make a Gandalf of literally every color.
Nope, not black.
Except black, yeah.
Nope,
but like,
no black.
They've done a lot of fucking colors on Gandalf. But yeah, most of them I would assume would fit in blue, red, white.
All of them except for that one. But yeah, no, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, again, talking about this, right, is like, It's that factor where, like, is this card crazy good? I don't think it's crazy good, but it's funny, and it gives you an idea for a funny commander deck where you build Gandalfs and other legendary wizards.
Yeah, just Gandalf's Council of Wizards.
And you put some funny instants and sorceries that are, cost you a few mana. So you can cast some big-ass spells.
Yeah. And now, probably the last... there's going to be one more character, but one of the last new character we should see is probably the title character. I'm going to put 2 Bilbos in the chat.
All right.
Because there are 3 Bilbos, but one of them is kind of boring. Spoiler, it's the common one.
Well, you know.
He scries 2. And lets you draw a card.
Vivi would hang out with Gandalf.
That'd be... Gandalf would love Vivi.
All right, so we've got Bilbo Thief in the Night and Bilbo Luckwearer. I think
let's do Luckwearer first. Oh, fair enough. All right, so let's start with Luckwearer, because it's the more common and less complicated card. So, Burglar's Plot. Exchange control of 2 target non-land permanents that share card type. I'm so upset about this card. Can you guess why I'm upset about this card?
Oh, what's the funny interaction you can't do with swap 2 non-land permanents? It's got to be like there's something that keeps you from doing something funny.
There is. I can't exchange control of lands. I have a land exchange deck.
Oh, yeah.
It's
target non-lands. So,
it's blue too.
I mean, I understand why, because the idea that, this is Bilbo, is moving around the Arkenstone and other bullshit. But yeah, no, that is very funny that it doesn't. You have a land swap deck, and you can't play Bilbo in it.
I mean, granted, it would be horrendously awkward because the commander of that deck is literally Saruman as Sharky. But
would be funny, yeah. But yeah, so and then the actual text of Bilbo,
actual,
which, by the way, the creature half of Bilbo is way cheaper to cast than the Burglar's Plot,
and way better. I'll just say this: the Burglar's Plot is funny and infuriates me specifically, but it's really not relevant.
I mean, it is 5 mana. Yeah, it's got to be very spicy.
Bilbo Luckwearer, though, is Bilbo cannot be blocked, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, draw and discard. Pretty standard rogue thing in Magic.
Yeah.
Rogues love having no power, being unblockable
a little. They're the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of direct attackers,
Yeah.
Which I think there are direct attackers in Yu-Gi-Oh that say if this card, deals damage, draw a card.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
No, yeah, he's pretty decent. If you have a deck that runs those kinds of cards, you'd probably put him in it.
Pretty normal rogue stuff.
Yeah. And now let's talk about this fucking card.
Thief in the Night.
All right. Thief in the Night. This is when he seals the Arkenstone to be like, fucking knock it off.
Yeah.
Okay, spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. Whenever Bilbo attacks, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery card from your graveyard. If an instant or sorcery card would be cast this way, exile it instead. So pretty simple card, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, remember when I brought up intrinsic properties earlier about adventures?
Yes.
This is one of the few ways. There's another legendary card that does something similar that lets you recast adventures from your graveyard. And I have to explain that to people so many times, and they think I'm lying.
It's like, no,
and they think I'm trying to cheat them. It's like, No, this is a very niche rule that applies to 2 creatures.
Because it's specifically you can cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. It is
specifically giving you the ability to do something, which then lets you act on a card's inherent property. And when I say that to people, they think I'm making rules up.
But no,
I've never heard of an
this is
inherent property in my life. But I'm like, I know, because you never tried to be a judge.
I understand though. Like I would assume this works with adventures, because the moment I see it says spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less, I'm like, okay, so this is supposed to integrate with adventures and other stuff.
Yeah, but this card is just fucking good.
No, this seems like a good card all around. But like my first thought when it says cast from elsewhere, so it's like, so if you cast an adventure that's exiled and you want to get the other thing back later, it costs cheaper. And then it's like, oh, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, like...
This is a card that was already part of a speculator thing. In terms of when this set came out, this card was like $10, $12.
Yep.
It's now like 30.
No, that's like, that sounds like the right curve.
It's the most expensive card in the set. And we'll talk about the first two.
Sounds like it, yeah, because it's like you... Basically...
Anything else? Oh, yeah, no, I know who we talk about. We haven't despite having talked about him at length, I haven't actually brought up any of his cards. But no, Bilbo's Thief in the Night is very good.
No, that's like, and I understand obviously what you said, like the idea of like, when you said like, oh, this card was like $10 at release, probably a little more expensive. I don't know if Magic pre-release prices or like.
Yes, no, it was like $20, and then it went down to $10, and now it's up to 30.
Yeah, that sounds like the curve of a card that is good. You're like, okay, people know this card's gonna be good, and then it's like, oh no, it's real, it's literally good.
Well, no, I think people forgot other formats existed and occurred to it. People were like, oh, this card will be fun in Commander, and then they were like, no, it's also good in like other formats.
As I understand it, that is a problem that happens a lot in Magic, where like, especially
it's not
because
necessarily just Commander. There are a lot
Wizards
of cards
has done a lot to sell Commander as like a primary format.
Yeah,
but yeah, there are a lot of Magic formats, and sometimes people get tunneled.
This card will be good in X format is very common.
Yeah, people just kind of like tunnel
Commander in. It's usually either Commander or Standard, and then eventually people realize, oh crap, it's also good in like these other 3 formats.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that card's pretty fucking sweet. Let's talk about the shiny boy, the card that is statistically the best card in draft.
Ooh.
Gollum, the Riddle Master.
Gollum.
I love how goofy they get with Gollum's card designs. So as Gollum enters, choose odd or even.
Yeah. 0 is even also, by the way. Good catch.
Yes, that is important. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value of the chosen quality, not... Oh god. I'm not going to get into that. That doesn't matter. But choose one that hasn't been chosen. Put a 1/1 counter on Gollum. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Draw a card. This card is hilarious to me. I love cards that just do random shit to the board that isn't... Like, I feel like there are certain Magic cards, especially old printed ones, that are too chaotic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like quote-unquote chaos cards because they just end up stalling out games and don't actually do anything. But cards that just do kooky, weird shit, that's my bread and butter of, like, doing weird shit without dramatically, like, making everyone shuffle everything into their deck and then randomly, like...
Yeah.
Don't go too random.
And this is a very funny card, because, like, obviously, toughness, terrible. Makes sense. He's Gollum. But he's got, like, 3 power. He's a little scary guy.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not nothing,
like
even after
canonically
you used...
murdered Mordor, or what was that place that, like, is between Mordor and, thing, where the, like, people with the elephants were?
Oh, what are those
Because
guys?
I believe he canonically killed some of those people with his bare hands.
There's the Southrons, yeah, who he kills a couple of those guys. The Easterlings,
Yeah, Easterlings, that's right.
yeah. I think he does yeah. He Gollum is at multiple points described as like freakishly strong for how emaciated he is.
Yeah.
Halfling Horror is a great creature type, as we talked about in
It's
Lord of
such
the
a
Rings. But like he's only
hilarious
2
book.
mana, and then like you said, he has a little funny bag of tricks. So whenever a opponent casts a spell that has the quality chosen, so odd or even appears, you get to pick one ability you haven't used yet. So over the course of his lifetime, it's entirely possible that Gollum will be 4/2. He will make your opponents lose some life, and you gain some life, and you'll draw a card. And like he's the easiest thing in the world to kill with 1 toughness, but it's like, why would you kill Gollum? Especially because if you cast a spell to kill Gollum that's odd or even, your opponent gets a trigger, I think, before he dies.
It's so funny. Yes.
Like,
Either way, you're winning.
he's a funny little guy. Hey, Loth.
Hey, I've even though like you guys are probably gonna be finishing soon, I've decided fuck it.
You said to show up for a little. It's okay. It's okay.
I do need to show off my favorite art in this entire set. It has given me much pleasure and much joy.
Don't like
There
that.
are some cool arts.
Why is he doing the I must pleasure myself with this fish meme?
It's very
Because he
funny.
got the fish. But yes, that is exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. No, Gollum Silent Slinker. This
So
is the common Gollum.
The funny thing is, so I cannot see the art currently because I opened the soundboard because Loth did show up, so there was something I wanted to test because I talked about it secretly.
Oh, okay.
So hold on, we're gonna activate the soundboard. Everybody, watch out.
We both played it.
He was right.
Yeah,
I had to play it again for me to process it, but that's Lucky posted an emote for that as well. That's audible gasp on our soundboard and emote, and I'm just like, oh, it'll get even. Lucky said to me because I looked it up. But I looked at I typed to Lucky earlier privately in our like tabletop call. I was like, oh, I like that this emote's called audible gasp, and he's like, you'll like it even better if you play it, and I do. But yeah, we're gonna pull up, and he is doing the fish meme pose.
It's so good.
It is
There
so
are
good.
two
Omega.
meme I'll pull up the other meme card of this set because, oh my god, Omega, you have no idea how many people that go to fucking Magic pre-releases are goddamn children.
Just quickly, side thing, Omega. After this, I might just have to steal you away to show you that video where that's from because it's short. Also, did they make this look like a book on purpose?
Yeah,
It's because it's an adventure.
Adventures
Yeah.
are that's from an old set called Eldraine. Most notable for breaking standard for a while.
I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of it, but also I can see people looking at this text format and going, "Ugh."
Yeah.
You got to be
I
careful
think
because like
most
you
are
are
okay
splitting the
with
text
it.
box in half, but like yeah, it's pretty alright. So Gollum Silent Slinker is 4 mana, Halfling Horror. He's 4/3, but he has an adventure which only costs 1 black to cast, which is a meager meal. You put a 1/1 counter on a creature,
and gain 2 life.
and the target player gains 2
Stiffy
life.
shoes.
Yes,
Here's the other meme card of the set.
and then the only thing he has as a creature is just he has menace.
Yeah.
Okay, I see why this is a
What?
meme
Because
art.
both of these nuts.
I mean,
I've
yes,
heard
it
that
is-
joke
it is
5 million times.
Bofa is similar to Bofa, but also he is holding out like he's kind of doing a Both of D's nuts face. Like he's got a weird
Yes,
face
no,
with this
yeah.
apple as well.
Yeah, he's just doing that. Ha, got him.
Yeah.
Dwarf Scout Bofer, 1 white.
Yeah.
He is also an adventure, so you can make something hex-proof as an instant. That's cute. And then he just
And then
has
it's
he's a
dark.
1/1 scout with lifelink.
Like he's a decent card, but God, I've heard that fucking joke so many.
I mean,
times.
it's so because like obviously, like I said, yes, I think there probably are children in a lot of Magic like draft and pre-release stuff, but like
No, they're not actual children. They're just
no. I mean, it's like mentally children.
Children.
Yes, but like, unfortunately, because it's an instant, it's so set up for you to do a joke because it's like a protection effect. So it's like your opponent goes to blow something up, and you go, "Hey, guess what? Bow for these nuts," and you like play bow for it. It's like, all right, okay. Somebody probably thought it was funny.
I don't think I actually showed this card. We talked about it, but I don't actually think I posted this. Okay, so I got 3 more cards.
All right.
The
I showed up at the end. Then. Good.
So
is it the Goblin King?
The big ass goblin, the Great Goblin. He's very great and goblin-y.
Yep. So the Great Goblin is a 1-mana Rakdos, which is black-red hybrid mana. 2, so he's 3 mana.
Yeah.
Whenever one or more counters are put on a goblin, arc, or army you control, the Great Goblin deals 2 damage to target opponent. That's important because, while obviously the thing is, obviously, like, if you put counters on an army, he deals damage. It also is just like if you put +1/+1 counters on just goblins and orcs.
Yeah.
And then whenever another goblin, orc, or army you control dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn.
That could be broken.
Could be pretty funny.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Like, he's just a good card. If you want to do goblin, orc, tribal things. Like, he's a goblin, orc, tribal guy.
Yeah.
You want to do a Gork deck.
I mean, you know, he is the Great Goblin. It works.
Yeah. No, he is the Great Goblin. Now, let's talk about... I think I want to end with a creature and the alt art of the real expensive alt art. So let's talk about the most expensive base card in this set, which I opened 2 of in 1 pre-release box, which was dumb. Got nothing else good in the box, but it paid for more than itself.
Damn, he really do be out here winning.
Well, no, I specifically went 0-3 that night. Because it's fucking terrible in Limited. It's literally fucking, like, the worst card ever in Limited.
He really do be out here losing.
Yeah, no. You'll understand why. It's very much a high-power Magic card. So... when you're playing,
I will say that does seem, while there were some very good cards in the Lord of the Rings Commander sets, that did not seem quite as fine-tuned. Because this is a set that's going into Standard, some of these Hobbit cards seem like they are made to be actually competitive, you know?
Yeah, no, this card is meant to only go in high-power decks.
This wasn't built on... Of course. Look at this fuckboy of a dragon.
This is an awfully fuckboy smog.
Like if you told me like, hey, we designed a dragon twink.
Well, he's covered in gold.
This smog is voiced by like fucking Tim Curry or something.
It also looks like he has I know it's the they talked about, like, you know, his underbelly's protected by scales or like gold.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's got a fucking boob window.
I mean, that's his he does have a boob window though. Like, that's his missing patch, his scale where he's weakest. I'm just imagining though the Hexus song, but instead of like, it's something like slime beneath me.
Yeah, no.
It's just, you know, gold beneath me, gold up above.
But yeah. So this is a fairly simple card. Which is whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you create a treasure token.
And then you can also force two players to draw.
Yeah, you can force 2 people to draw. Which does mean if you can create... Yeah, you can, but also if you create infinite mana, you can kill everybody.
You can deck them out, yeah. Because it doesn't tap, it just costs mana.
No. This card's very good if everyone is drawing lots of cards, so in high-powered Magic, like I said.
Yeah.
Like when there's counter wars and like huge battles, so like Legacy, Vintage, commander, especially high-powered commander, this card's very good. The lower power you go, the worse it is. Like I said, in limited, this card is functionally useless. Because, like, how many times are people going to draw 2 cards in limited?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, like it's a card where like you're guessing if your opponent's drafted some fucking draw power.
Yeah. But no, this card's like $40. It's the most expensive base card in the set. Obviously, that's not counting like weird printings. We'll get to that. But yeah, no, this card's solid. I already sold one of them.
Nice.
Because, like, I don't need 2. But, yeah. That's clean. Sorry, there's not a lot to talk about with this card, other than that Olaf is right. This is just fuckboy Smaug.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for bringing that curse upon us.
No, you're right. I'll show you the other art, because the last card we're going to end on is Smaug the Magnificent.
Smaug is very full of himself. Zen in chat even joking about being too sexy for his scales.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Sorry, I'll grab the normal art first, but the alt art was very funny.
Oh, that alt art is fucking great. What the shit?
The alt art is done. That's treated with like holographic gold paint or something. This is like a serialized card. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's like $10,000 or something. Not as crazy as some of the serialized shit they've done in the past, but it's definitely it's a gold-treated Smaug. I don't think it's actual gold. I think it's just an effect. That'd be wild if it's actual gold.
Gold.
Yeah, no, it's probably like just a gold foiling effect, but yeah. So,
it's gold texture.
Smaug the Magnificent, he's only a 4/3. But he is flying and hasted.
Yeah. And then the effect. The effect is... Well... Whenever he attacks, deal damage to the target... is it any target or is it target player? I can't... Sorry.
Any target. Deals damage
any
equals the number of
target.
treasures.
Okay. You control to any target. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, create a treasure token. So this card is hilarious to try and blow people up with. Like, I'm pretty sure this card was printed to kill people. Like, if you're not going for the... Yeah, if you're not, like, yeah, obviously he can kill creatures and stuff, and that's useful in card advantage. But
no, this is you generate, you have 20 treasures, you attack, and you go, by the way, when I attack you, you die. Yeah. And he's got haste,
and because
so
he has
it's
haste,
like...
Yeah, he has haste, so you could just go, by the way, Smaug, attack, boom!
Go, my Smaug! Which is honestly, to be fair, because this is him getting pissed at Bilbo and flying into the night to burn down Lake Town. That is kind of how it goes. Smaug just gets really pissed off at one hobbit and decides to burn Lake Town to the ground, despite the fact that he hasn't fucked with those guys in like decades. He's just like, "What, you mean my fucking nosy neighbors are helping you out? I'll fucking kill them. Get out of here."
Well, he says he's from Lake Town.
Yes.
I just had to do this, and it's. Even though it's a fucking Star Sector meme.
I mean, not incorrect.
Whatever, go my Scarab. Yeah, whatever, go my Smaug.
Yeah, no. This card is hilarious. I don't know how good it is in sense of, like, standard. That's a big question. Obviously, in limited, this card's fucking filthy. Flying haste 4/3 for 4 is... Like, you could literally ignore the rest of the text. That's just dumb. That's dumb strong. Him generating a treasure is great. Like, this card is just overall very good. Like, they obviously wanted to make this card the good card in the set. Like, I feel like this was designed in a similar fashion to the One Ring, Not necessarily in power level wise, because obviously one's in standard, one's not. But in terms of they don't want this card to be bad.
Yeah.
If any card flops, it cannot be this Smaug.
And no, I think you hit on it. We're like, no, they've designed this so even in limited, even if you're not generating a shitload of treasure, though you might because of the upkeep effect, you might get a few treasures in there.
Yeah.
A 3-mana 4/3 flying haste is still that's a pretty good guy.
Yeah,
that's pretty alright.
Fucking absurd.
But also, he has funny add-on effects that'll be like, it could be good in standard.
I would say even in limited and stuff, like generating a treasure at the beginning of your upkeep is like obviously the middle effect is more for like commander or like maybe if a treasure deck takes off in standard, like that's more of the like funny haha. But his bottom effect, create a treasure at your upkeep, that's not nothing. That's an additional mana every turn.
Yeah.
On top of a 4/4 fuck off dragon. Or 4/3 fuck off dragon.
Yeah. Who is, as we said, still flying, so it's like if your opponent doesn't have any flying or reach blockers, you might just get a hasted swing in and then be like, I got a treasure token for later. You can blow up my Smaug, but I don't care. I've already
won.
I've already punched you.
And I think it's only appropriate to end this with Smaug.
Yeah.
Specifically a different Smaug.
He's a big guy.
Go ahead, you can't unpunch me.
Smaug the Impenetrable.
It's a very interesting aura on this card.
Well, this is another one of the scene boxes. This is Smaug on his horde staring at Bilbo.
You know what I hear? What I hear in my head when I see this card? I hear Donkey just going, "Oh, you're a girl dragon."
This is for reference. This is Bilbo in the scene.
Okay, okay. Together, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
There's like other parts that are just like artifacts and stuff that are his body.
But by itself, it still very much looks like fucking fuckboy Smaug.
Yes. I think this one's like evil fuckboy Smaug.
Well, I mean, he's red-black, so yes, he's sinister as fuck. But like this
one is a lot more like, oh, he's gonna stab me than like he's gonna sell me like.
Well, and also I do kind of like the comparison, right? That so like this guy's also still flying and hasted because that's true, but like. Smaug in his den, trash-talking to Bilbo, is invincible. He's like, nobody will ever get my ass in here. I am covered in gems, I know every place, I breathe fire, you're fucked. My breath death.
Yeah.
My teeth are swords, my claws are spears. Yes, my tail a thunderbolt.
That is still my favorite line from The Hobbit, and I'm so mad.
It's a pretty good one. But no, so like it's only when he gets mad and leaves his den on a whim that he gets shot. But yeah, so this guy is 7 mana, 8/7, flying indestructible haste. And then whenever Smaug is dealt non-combat damage, create treasure tokens. Just whenever you shoot him, coins fall off him.
This is a commander, quote unquote. I like him as a commander because this is like you can build him based around cards that just explode the board. But also, this is the same kind of commander that I would play once and then be like, well, that was fun. Because it's just like playing board wipe deck isn't always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some other funny shit you can do with a spaceship that deals 100 damage to something, so you can create 100 treasures.
He's indestructible, yes. You just fucking blow your own ass up.
As I saw Zed say in chat, it's very easy to get treasures.
Yes, it's very easy to get treasures. This is my second least favorite Smaug. I only say that because there's a common Smaug that I didn't even bother bringing up because he is a deal 5 damage adventure and then just a 5/5 vanilla flyer. So,
Yeah,
like,
Zed said this in
why
chat
bother?
earlier also, like, being like, we have, like, 3 other Smaugs to be underwhelming to bad, so this one, the
Yeah.
shiny one, Magnificent, needs to be good. And it's like, yeah, I know. There's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
Smaugs. Most of them can be, like,
No.
okay.
I think my favorite is actually the rare one, the Wicked Worm.
That
That's
guy
probably
also
my
seemed
favorite.
fun.
But I have an unhealthy addiction to red-black, so that might be coloring my biases. But I also think Magnificent is the better card. I just like Wicked Worm because I can do Rakdos Blink shit and be a weird, different person. Why am I like this? But no, this is The Hobbit. It's a lot more whimsical than Lord of the Rings, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, I wish. I don't want to end it with this card, but there's one card I forgot it was even in this set that has the funniest fucking name. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Name.
A most old decrepit bird.
That is,
or sorry,
indeed a name.
Most decrepit old bird.
That's very funny. I mean, no, there's a lot of great names like that. We talked earlier
There's
about
also
how, like,
confiscate and bebother, which is a counterspell.
Yeah.
That I now get to say to people, I'm going to confiscate and bebother you.
Yeah.
There's fucking the barrels.
Yeah, we
There's
talked
a
about the barrels
card.
were a card. I mean, even with the bears, you know, there's the fucking scroll up to find the
huge
ordinary bear, and he's just like, it's a quote about Gandalf describing how there are so many bears dancing until dark, and all of those bears are cards.
The fucking dog skinwalker, long body
I'm sorry.
dog.
I'm scrolling up and I'm just seeing like how many bear cards?
There's
a lot of bears.
Look at
Gandalf
this
names
fucking
like
dog.
4 bears.
All dancing outside
Bjorn's
from dogs and nearly
dogs.
fallen. And then it's a
Yes.
fucking enchantment card. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Bjorn's dogs took bowls, platters, and knives and spoons and laid them on the table. What the fuck? Bjorn! What the fuck is your problem,
Ow.
man?
Sorry. I forgot another great name. Great ugly looking goblin.
You know, that's just what Bilbo called that guy. He's just like, there was a great ugly looking goblin. Yep.
Oh,
With the
what are
ability
some
to-
other?
With clap snap to amass goblins. That's cute. Yeah. So like you said, there's a lot more whimsy in this set.
Yeah.
A lot more funny ha-has.
Yeah, which is appropriate because like the Hobbit book is like it's like a children's book.
Yeah. But I also think it's interesting that, as we also observed, it feels like because this is a standard set, some of these cards are a little more competitive. Like they definitely have some cards that are aiming to be like, all right, no, this card's just good. This card's good.
Yeah. Yeah, overall I really enjoy the set. I think Magic's been on a pretty good run recently. Although I think some people disagree because people are weird about Universes Beyond.
Yeah.
But I really like Strixhaven, I really like Marvel, and I really like this.
Pretty good things about Strixhaven, yeah. So, like, yeah, no. Like, this is good stuff going on.
And then we're going to get the fucking weird set next, which is Reality Fracture. Which is, what if all these characters were the opposite? Like, what if Ajani was fucking aggressive? What if Chandra was an ice mage? Fucking... basically a magic what if.
Dallas, you said the words like they'll be opposite. My first immediate thought, okay, so fire lady will just be ice.
Yes, no.
Yeah, apparently that's confirmed. Okay, that's a little... That's
Liliana is a
goofy,
fucking...
but that can work.
I just need to show you this. Liliana is a fucking rainbow princess.
Oh, come on, bro.
Liliana the Faultless, white human cleric.
Oh, wait, isn't she like one of the big... Oh my god.
Okay, she is a hero. She is thoroughly a good person. But she is like, repeatedly makes deals with demons and is in trouble. Like, she's the Black Planeswalker.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah,
so I love that her opposite is indeed is she's the Faultless.
She's also just a goth, always. Sorry.
Yeah, but now she's like rainbow colored.
Yeah.
This is just... Faultless.
No, it's a great one.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with the set. It's a weird set, but I love it.
I mean,
I think Chad needs to see this Liliana.
All right,
All right, sure. We'll end up with Rainbow
throw it with that. Yeah.
Liliana.
I mean, people
good.
talking
I said
about how
that
they
just before Zed asked.
I'll show it up. I'll say this. I appreciate this also because this seems like it's going to be full of a lot of Magic deep cuts because they're doing mirror universe shit. So hopefully this will help assuage some people about like becoming the Fortnite of card games. About like, no, guys, we do still remember you and we do still remember our original lore. Because
they also did like the Commander Mystery Booster stuff, which is also fucking hilarious. They've been doing a lot of hits recently, and God, we need to do Marvel one of these days because some of the fucking cards in that set are what the hell? Why?
That's the one. I'd hope to grab that one when Gwyn can join us because I know we talked about it. But yeah, we'll have to do a Marvel sometime, but we'll put it in the hopper for later.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of funny stuff. I will say as it's time to wrap it up, time to pack it in. Fail Portrayal's been weird this month because one of the we were originally going to do Lord of the Rings, then do the poll episode, then do Hobbit, but my streaming just didn't fucking work on the original Lord of the Rings day, so like it's been all goofed up. The polls are up to pick a new archetype, and so the plan should be next week to finally do the poll and be Speedroid.
Yeah.
That may take us a couple, knowing Speedroid, because
talk about
fuck
toys.
ton of those little guys. Yeah. But we'll work that through, and then we may immediately snap to whatever the next poll is, which could be Soul Jersey. It could be Spider-Man. I don't know. I just posted the polls today. I don't know what the fuck you guys are going to pick.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, I need to say it properly. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Emissary from Hell. Spider-Man. Damn it, Parker. I need pictures of Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to post another. I need to post another cursed card from Spider-Man. I'm going to do that every week.
It's because there's a lot.
Okay,
but yeah, so like, we got our polls up, so you can select them. One is on YouTube for YouTube members. There is also a Patreon poll, as mentioned. I run both now, just because you can vote in both if you want. I'll total them up.
Damn you, Zed!
You can give me money twice. Those guys are supposed to be getting support, which is why I finally decided to pick them. So that's gonna be weird. And then after Speedroid and stuff, I don't know exactly what, but it'll probably start being time to be talking about what's the word? Medius the Pure, the lore update. Oh, also though in Yu-Gi-Oh news, in addition to other stuff going around, first of all, we may also need a chaser to the God card episode because. It seems like the new thing they're doing is they're giving like cohesive archetype support to major characters. We did Yugi with Rolad, Ritual of Light and Darkness. We did Joey with the Beyond the Brave Dark Time Wizard stuff. Well, they gave a shitload of Raw support, which is crazy. Extra deck, Fusion Raw, and also Fusion Lava Golem, among other dumbass bullshit they announced, which I'm sure will in no ways be super annoying because it's based on all of Merrick's annoying-ass evil cards. By the way, Toon is still an FTK deck in the OCG, I think. But yeah, so we'll probably have to talk about the Raw support at some point. We will do Toon at some point. That'll be another, probably multiple episodes because there's 5 gajillion Toons who all have, fuck tons of effect text. I think, Rada and MBT, several YouTubers have talked about this. The wiki used to do the old school. Oh, yes, there's type A, B, C, and D Toons based on, which effect text they have. So, yeah. It's perfect. I wondered why he decided to pop in. I guess he stopped playing 14. If you didn't get it, chat, because you can't see the Discord, that was Lucky. Lucky jumped in to play the audible gasp sound and then left. He said nothing. He played the sound and he smoke bombed out. That's the time to wrap it up, though. So we've got plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh to get back to. I'm sorry if Fail Portrayal was a little scuffed this past month. Like I said, it's been really weird. And the YouTube backend has still been very dodgy. There was some buffering earlier in the stream and shit like that. But we'll be back there. Tomorrow, speaking of 14, we'll be playing Final Fantasy 14, where I finally finished some relics I'll get to show off. So we'll probably be going back to Northhorn. So pay attention to that.
Horn.
We got to get you to Southhorn. I don't know. You got to work on some relics. But all that for later. Yeah. Anyway, that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye, guys.